I'm Simone. Those are your master leaderboard standings presented by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Thursday, a huge Thursday at that, as the Kings try to stay out of the play-in and give themselves a chance to stay out of the play-in with a win tonight against the Pelicans, who they have not beat this season, who they have not gotten close to beating this season. We break it all down for the next 4 hours. How can the Kings get it done? Keys to the game, injury updates. We have it all for you. Too much going on in the sports world right now. You have the Masters going on. Shohei gets absolved as Ippei is now pleading guilty and moving forward there. So I guess that's over, Chris. There's no more to talk about. Iowa, you got Caitlin Clark doing her best T-Swizzle Swiftie Taylor Swift impression. $82 million generated in Iowa because of the women's basketball team. And we break everything down. Another relocation happening in sports, and this has nothing to do with the A's, but we do have a lot to talk about as far as the A's, as Tim Cowan has posted a story on ESPN. We will get into the details of there and whether or not Vivek is playing chess, not checkers. Did Chris want to bring up, and, you know, we're very honest on this show, and if you were listening to the crosstalk with Dave and Jason Ross, Chris and I were very young when the OJ situation happened. Obviously, this is just the word polarizing and OJ. That doesn't even seem like a good enough word. But OJ Simpson and everything that happened there, whenever anybody dies, it's not good. So, you know, prayers go out to the family. But, I mean, it's just not something that I don't think we are really the best people to break down and to give stories. We were literally 5. I was 5, and I don't think you were born yet.
I was completely unborn.
So that's just kind of what it is. And I know everybody has their memories of that time, and that's kind of where I want to leave it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we really don't have much insight to give, don't really have much, personal experience or stories. Like, I mean, honestly, I think OJ's biggest contribution to my generation is giving the Kardashians a lane to thrive. So, I don't really have much to say on that situation. But, yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime anyone passes, you think about the families. And, I'm sure that family has definitely dealt with a lot in their time. And, I'm sure this doesn't, or doesn't help at all, but definitely, thinking about that family and just that everybody who's affected by that whole situation for sure.
Want to hang on 1:30. I have a story. It's a grind your gears time. Well, first we have two stories.
Yeah.
We have a grind your
layered
gears story. The other story I have not previewed to Chris Watkins.
Oh, okay.
The first story Chris knows about because I was texting him. But Simone doesn't know about. The second story, neither of them know about. That's at 1:30.
That's always scary.
We'll have some fun with it. We'll be all right. As we take you up to 2 p.m. We also have the top 30 players and where Sabonis and Fox falls and what that says about the roster construction for the Kings. As I was listening to Sam Amick, Chris, I was going to physical therapy, so of course I fire up Sactown Sports and Sam Amick was talking. He did shout out the show, by the way.
I heard.
He talked about listening to us and how the Kings might just not have enough. And I hate that it can be that simple sometimes. And as we go into this game, and we've had multiple people on this show. We've had two of the most in-depth Kings media members in Brendan Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli on this show. And nobody really hasn't. We've talked to Whitey Gleason, one of the best sports minds there is, not just in Sacramento, in Northern California. There is nobody that truly has an answer to whether or not the Kings can come up with a counterpunch to win the threes stop falling. I think most people have just accepted that that's who they are. And we're going to get texts today and we're going to get calls today. And shout out to the Sac Chat. We're going to get Sac Chat today about not shooting that many threes, but nobody knows what else they could do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating situation for sure. Anytime you see your team just chucking it up and living and dying by the three, it's not the most aesthetic basketball out there. But we talked about it a bit yesterday. I do think it's a bit of a necessary evil with all the guys out there, and I just don't know, to add another one to the list of people who don't really have an answer. I don't really know where else this team can go, just because. Let's also not forget Malik Monk got hurt with 10 games left. Like Mike Brown said it at the time, and it's definitely become true. You can't just wholesale change everything with 10 games left. And so they kind of got put into a bad situation. We talked a lot yesterday about how important Malik is in that pick and roll game with Sabonis. And, without that pick and roll game there, they really don't play much of it. I mean, pick and roll is kind of built into their flow offense a bit with Sabonis setting so many screens and Alex Len setting screens as well, but they don't do the just cut and dry pick and roll like they do with Sabonis and Monk. And so I do think I think it was a caller, not a texter, that mentioned yesterday, that's a lot of Sabonis points that are just kind of left out there. Sabonis gets a lot of buckets in that pick and roll situation when defenders have to make that decision of, do I go double on Malik and add some pressure on him driving, or do I, sag off and kind of also guard Sabonis, but allow Malik to take that floater? That threat's not really there with Davion. It's not there with Keon. I think Colby Jones can maybe do it, but again, that's where this injury happening with 10 games left in the season kind of hurts them, because you can't just throw Colby out there and say, hey, for 10 minutes a game when we just run Malik Domas pick and rolls, that's now on you, Rook. Like, that's just way too much for him to handle right now.
Does that also combine with, and I know Kevin Huerter, the one very good example I saw from that mind game pod.
That's right. Talk about it.
When LeBron, I really don't want to. When LeBron talked about the split action.
Yes.
Is that also a situation where if I were to say to you, hey, what about the split action wrinkle? Is that another thing that you would say, hey, without Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk, is that not something that could be taught maybe?
They could. I mean, that's also one of those things that's just kind of built into the motion offense is split cuts. And it's kind of a basketball IQ thing of when to do it and when to execute it. I think that has more to do with, like we were talking about yesterday, just teams packing the paint, and in general, the cutters not being there, because teams are essentially, I mean, think of it like they're playing a 3-2 zone essentially, and you're just not going to be able to squeeze it. Like, there's very, very small passing lanes to fit those things into. And, I think a bit of this is, the Kings, they shoot threes because that's what they're packing the paint. So the Kings are like, okay, we're going to take the look that you're giving us. And I think the problem is, there's a disconnect between the Kings think that they're a shooting team versus the teams they're playing are daring them to be a shooting team. And I think we've seen that, in that OKC game, they were like, all right, yeah, Keon Ellis, he's going to hit 12 threes tonight. That's going to happen. Davion, I know he started hot. He's going to hit 5 threes. HB, 0 of 4, even Keegan, 3 of 10. Like, they're just willing to live with, hey, when we talk about the Warriors and why, Mike Brown is from the Warrior system, but doesn't quite run exactly what the Warriors do, more in sense of the back cuts. It's because the Warriors, you can't let them be a 3-point. You're never going to say, okay, prove to me, Golden State, that you're a shooting team. The Kings are in a period right now where teams are saying, all right, we know you were a good shooting team last year, but this year, looking at the numbers, 80 games in, you're 16th in the NBA in percentage. So if you want to take 58 threes, go ahead.
It's a crazy thought, and we're way, way, way too far gone to have a philosophy conversation. Yeah. This is more so for next season, but it does feel like there's a conversation to be had on the offensive philosophy and what you think the team is versus what it actually is. Because, going into the season, we did the laser beam fate of the world for a 3-pointer, even if that guy was healthy, I mean, I think it was supposed to be Kevin Huerter, right? Probably. And Kevin or Keegan.
Yeah.
So you go into the season with Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, De'Aaron shooting at a higher clip than he is now. And you also have HB, who
should be. I mean, he was
He-
39% until
yes.
he wasn't.
exactly, and Malik Monk as well. And you think, oh, you shouldn't be able to afford to stack the paint and to kind of fill up the paint the way teams are. But the game is not played on paper, and a couple months went by. Kevin Huerter couldn't figure it out. Keegan Murray had a down year, even though he did improve in other areas. Malik Monk was a bit hot and cold. He'd have some really good streaks. De'Aaron cools off. And now you're looking at a team, and I believe Sam said this on the morning show, there's just no identity.
Yeah.
We have to shoot threes because that's what we did last season, but we're just going to go until we can't. And we're not, especially when you're missing guys like they're missing, there really isn't a counterpunch. So I would just say going into this game, even though I've been on record saying they will not lose to a team 5 times in a row.
I have a hard time believing it.
I definitely am going into this game kind of calloused, if you will, from the Knicks game to a different game, but the Celtics game as well. And even before then in the Thunder game, I'm prepared for the worst.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what Whitey said
like
yesterday,
that,
right? Like during the crosstalk.
I'm prepared for I'm hoping for the best. I'm preparing for the worst because I'm telling you, man, I mean, it was even, my wife was looking at me after that Thunder game. She's like, "Are you okay?"
Us into?
Yes, for real. It's hot. Got the AC on. Yeah. Are you okay? When we return, pocket watching, doing it early because it's such a big night in the association. Also, what happens if the Kings lose? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Speaking of Drizzy Drake, rumored to be dropping a Kendrick diss tonight at midnight. So technically Friday,
I did not hear that.
Joe Budden on the Joe Budden podcast, his sources say that I think the sources said
going down.
Well, he said it's coming, and he said that they both have disses coming. Kendrick
Really?
and Kendrick, I guess, would be answering to J. Cole, but Drake is going to tap in tonight. That's the rumor. All I need is a beam going. Drizzy's diss track. That is all.
Do we think that they insult the apology?
You have to.
You got to.
You have to.
Like, even
What
Drake
you
should say, like, yeah, exactly.
Might delete later.
Honestly,
I deleted
Drake
your
should call
career.
it no apologies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This is going to get crazy. and then they're going to all apologize and go to Turks and Caicos.
Exactly. They're going to do a tour together, actually. It's going to be the Big Three tour. I'm calling it. Coming summer 25.
That's smart. That is smart. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Let's go to Shrestha, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What you got for us?
Hey, good morning, guys. The offensive philosophy that you were talking about, it drives me nuts with the three-point chucking. And I was just thinking, when the Kings kind of get a big lead, let's say they got like a 19-point lead in the last game, they were up big on the Knicks. Do you think the coaching staff should change the philosophy to say, now that we got a big lead, can we just take it inside? Just go for those 2-point buckets. Let's not go for the low percentage 3-point shots. Let's just maintain this lead. It just drives me nuts that the coaching staff just says, if you see an open shot, just go for it when you can really try to take it inside. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like when you have a big lead, let's just try to maintain that lead and not try to keep increasing the lead, which these guys think they can do.
Yeah.
No, thanks for the call. And that's a good point, because specifically with the Thunder didn't get back by shooting threes themselves. Right. It's not as if they got hot. No. So the Kings felt like they had to continue to shoot threes. That wasn't the case. The Thunder, they were just banging down low and doing things like that. The first thing I'll say is that I think things changed when Chet Holmgren had some muscle milk before the game and decided I wasn't going to get punked like I got punked the first couple of times that I went up against Big Bro from Gonzaga in Sabonis. So I think that is the first thing that happened, because when you talk about the 2-pointers, Chris, and you mentioned it before, as annoying as it is, we know, and we've had people on the text line say, hey, it's 30. It's a better percentage to take mid-ranges, right? 30% and better than taking the threes. And we get all that, but that still isn't perfect. So you don't have slashers besides De'Aaron. And all week, we've been critical of De'Aaron for falling in love. I mean, took 17 3-pointers. So De'Aaron's really the only guy I can sit there. It's just it's just where the team is right now, because it's De'Aaron and then to a lesser degree, Keegan, who can get you 2-point buckets, and Sabonis. Those are the three that I'm looking to get 2-point buckets. Davion, I mean, he'll take them sometimes. Keon will take them sometimes, but ultimately for me, if it's some of those role guys, I've never even seen Trey Lyles take a mid-range jump shot, and he doesn't really get to the cup. So to me, when you're looking at these role players, as in Keon and Davion and Trey Lyles, if they're not able to get to the cup, which Davion tried, he got that thing tossed back to yesterday. If it's not those guys, I'm not really upset with them taking an open 3 instead of a 2, because I don't really know how long the shooting is going to stay hot anyway. But as far as De'Aaron and Keegan, yes, they could definitely utilize some 2-point opportunities more. That's where I'm at with it.
I would just say in general, I mean, if there's an open look, they're never going to be advised to turn it down. I mean, Mike Brown's made that very
40
very
a game.
Yeah, it's
correct?
insane. That's the minimum. I mean, I personally would agree. I with the caller, I would say that, I would like to see this team take more 2s, especially when they're up big. But I think that there's a way of doing it. Like, again, I think that if there's an open 3, they're always going to take it. It doesn't matter if they're up 30 or down 30, they're going to take the open look. But I do think that there's something to, and it ties in with having a major lead, is eating the clock. I don't have a problem with them taking 3s, as long as they're trying to get a 2 throughout the shot clock. Like, it's okay if it eventually settles with a 3 with 10 seconds or less on the shot clock, but we're just not even seeing the effort of trying to get to the rim. And if it is quote unquote effort, it feels like a dummy call of, hey, we're just trying to touch the paint because we know that's what Mike Brown wants us to do.
The other team
they
knows
know
that.
it too, because they don't even try and bite on the drive. They're just automatically ready to get out on the spray. And so I just think that they need to more legitimately try and attack the rim. And I think it's a plus where, yes, you're trying to get a better look, a more efficient look at the rim, but also you're eating clock instead of, every I know pace and style of play is really important for this Kings team offensively, and they want to play fast. They want to get shots up, but at the same time, if you're up 19, the clock is your friend. Okay, you're just trying to make sure you're trying to limit possessions, and you want to get as many good looks as possible. And to me, the way of doing that is by legitimately running your offense, trying to get to the rim. And yeah, if it's not there, then we can take these desperation threes. But ultimately, I just think it's too much settling and early settling, most importantly, for a lot of these 3-point attempts that are just chucked up.
Two situations happened against the Thunder that I think have been singed into Kings fans' minds. The possession with about 4 offensive rebounds where it was this Chuck City, and they continued to shoot threes and nobody hit one.
They were all open, though. I don't have a problem with that possession. That's the possession I think Mike Brown's going to put on a frame.
Yeah, 14 seconds.
Put it on his fridge.
Sure, I get all that. But I think that it didn't look great if you're not.
It looks bad when you miss it.
Sure. As far as it fitting the philosophy, sure. As far as fans watching it, terrible. Yeah. It just looked bad. And then I would say De'Aaron settling on multiple possessions early in the shot clock with the 3-ball. As when the 3-ball leaves, as a guy who's not really a shooter, and I know De'Aaron is. I'm not comparing myself to De'Aaron, but as a guy who the shooting is more of the counter punch. When that thing leaves, you got to believe that it left. You know what I mean? If you're hot, you ride it when it's hot.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, don't try to bring it back.
It's like poker or blackjack.
It's gone.
Like,
You lose one hand, lose one spit. Get out of Dodge. Just get out and go grab some food. And De'Aaron tried to go back to the well. You know what's interesting, Chris, before we come back quickly here. You know what's interesting is that I assumed that the Thunder took more free throws as far as more players getting a free throw opportunity than the Kings. The Kings, actually 5 different guys took free throws.
Yeah.
The Thunder, only 4 guys attempted a free throw. So in my mind, they do have that ability to get to the line. My question is, and we did it with De'Aaron specifically, but in a larger scope, is there an idea of, I'm not really trying to be in the paint because the Kings are the worst free throw shooting team in the league.
There's also that.
So maybe they're not super excited to be at the free throw line, especially now when I'd rather just take a 3 in motion.
Yeah.
And if I miss it, it's a 3. It's a lonely, charity stripe. It's a lonely place.
That's when you start playing the points per possession game. And like you're saying, if you're going to go 1 of 2 at the free throw line every time, that's 1 point per possession. That's not ideal. You ideally want to be hovering, I think around 1.3 is ideal where you want to be falling. And, that's why I say, 3s are worth more than 2. That's why you take a 3 instead of a long 2 is just the points per possession and the amount of times that those things go up at the efficiency they go up. It just, the math, and Monty McNair, more than anybody, he's coming from Daryl Morey's Houston system, where look at James Harden's shot chart when he was playing in Houston. It is literally, and not just James Harden, it's the entire team. It's how they're built with modern basketball. It is every single point in the paint or from 3. Mid-range does not exist in these Morey systems.
Coming up next, pocket watching and what happens if the Kings don't get it done tonight. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
returns based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sell on report.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Kyle Draper. Equip your staff with top-notch uniforms, professionally cleaned and delivered weekly to your workplace by Alsco Uniforms, proud sponsors of the Sacramento Kings Mob Crew. Our services include uniforms, towels, floor mats, mops, first aid supplies, and restroom essentials to uphold cleanliness and safety standards in your business. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, visit alsco.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel. National Ping Club Fitter of the Year, Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is introducing the straightest, most forgiving Ping driver ever with the new Ping G430 Max 10K driver. A fixed back weight, Ping's largest head profile, and a carbon fly wrap crown help G430 Max 10K launch the ball higher with less spin for consistently longer and straighter results. Schedule your fitting and see for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue to Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
As we ask the question, get into pocket watching, who needs to step up? Tonight, the 5-3-0, they have something to say. We need Barnes to play one of his all-star candidate games instead of being invisible to make up for Malik being gone. Crazy his whole career, he can go from looking like the best player on the court to completely invisible. I
missed that first part.
Let me put it to you like this. We have a ways to go in this season. We don't think
not much.
The whole thing. I believe we have a ways to go. If Harrison Barnes turns the bleeping Jets on starting tonight, can he make up for the last couple years where he's just been hammered time in and time out? Even just a couple games ago, putting up a donut, putting up 2 points, things like that. Can he be forgiven for his sins if he balls out these next couple games starting tonight?
I love that you asked this question. I love that you asked this question. I feel like you know what I'm already going to say.
No, I don't.
No, I mean, I just think that if anything, it creates more frustration. Like, I mean, every time a player, has these inconsistencies where they're in and out, when you have big performances, it's like, well, where has this been? We've needed this guy all season long. And sure, you could say, never or better late than never. I was about to do a Drake verse. I wasn't even trying to, and I think that ultimately it'll lead to more frustration. I mean, absolutely, we'll take it. Beggars cannot be choosers, but I think it would just lead to more frustration of, okay, well, where was this against OKC when we, and I know he had 10 free throws the other day.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like if that were to happen, because of the situation, it would just be, hey, let's just, if you get into a big fight with a family member or significant other and it goes on for a while and just get to a point, hey, let's just move forward. Maybe it would be some of that.
You wait for the other shoe to drop. Yeah. The second he has 2 good games, it's like, okay, well, how much longer can we continue to bank on this? And then it becomes if anything, it would just shine a brighter light on the inconsistency, because the second the bad thing happens, it's then, oh, well, that was fun. While just like what happened in the regular season, he had 3 really good games in a row, and then it was just kind of back to what we had seen for the entirety of the season. I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome it. It would be great. The Kings need somebody else to step up right now, 100%. And if it's Harrison Barnes, makes a lot of sense, and it definitely usually leads to, when HB plays well, the Kings tend to play well as well. So, it would be great for this team if it happens, but I'm just letting you know, if it happens, I'm going to be upset that this hadn't been here all season long. And if I would not believe in it. Like it would take, because we even saw, who was it, Caleb or Cody Martin last year in the Eastern Conference Finals have himself a crazy series. Who knows? Like, maybe it works for HB matchup wise for an entire series, but I wouldn't believe that it's just something we can bank on moving forward, because just like we've seen from this Kings team all year, yeah, you can be good for a little, but we just know that other thing is coming real soon.
No. And I'm not thinking, oh, wow, HB is going to take the Kings to the Western Conference Finals.
Sure.
I'm just saying he cooks for 3 games. Maybe you get lucky and sneak into the 6th seed, or you get the 7 and you get into the playoffs. You lose in the first round. He goes back to human, losing the first round. A lot of people don't believe or aren't sure that he will be in Sacramento this coming season. You say, hey, it was up and down, but at least he got hot towards the end of the year. He helped get us into the playoffs.
You tip your cap. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for your service.
It might just lessen the annoyance a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I think that HB will, whenever it's all said and done, he will be appreciated for his time here. Like, he definitely had a lot of good moments, but yeah, I think no matter what happens, like I said, I'll take 3 games from HB getting us into a better situation. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Again, beggars cannot be choosers, not Chipotle. We can't get to pick and choose which guy I want Keon Ellis to be the reason why these guys make the play-in. Like, you just can't have it that way. So if the Kings get to the play-in and HB's a big reason for it, absolutely huge shout out HB. And I would also say, that is what you're supposed to do. Like, that is living up to the guy that you're supposed to be. And I know he's capable of doing it. But that's again, just to tie it back, that's what makes it so frustrating, is I know he's able to do it. I know he's capable of doing it. And it would be at a perfect time right now, the most veteran guy on this team, for him to step up in these last 3 games. I feel like I sound like a broken record. This is the story of HB with this team. He is the guy who you should point to as, we need someone to step up. It should be this most veteran guy who's been on championship teams, who's been through the ringer, who's been with this team in this situation longer than anybody else besides De'Aaron Fox. He understands what's going on. You would like him to step up and take a little bit of ownership over what's going on, as this team is barely hanging on for their lives right now.
If they don't get it done, it is officially done with the 6th seed.
Yeah.
Okay. So
officially, stamp it down.
Even 100%. Chris Watkins can't convince us during the post game or anywhere else. It will officially, mathematically be finito if the Kings lose tonight.
Santiago.
The best that they can do is the 7th seed. Now, even if they win, you still need help from other places, but mathematically, they're done. And here is the slate for today. Warriors, the slate that matters for the Kings. 2 games, really. Warriors at Blazers and Pelicans at Kings. The Warriors have a pretty soft schedule.
Super soft. Funny how that happens.
Everybody,
I'm just saying, everybody else plays division opponents the last stretch of the season.
Yeah.
Not the Warriors. They play the Blazers, Pelicans, and Jazz.
Well, they got the Pelicans.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they sure do.
They got the Pelicans.
Yeah, they ended the season with Jazz, Lakers, Blazers, Pelicans, Jazz.
One more time?
Jazz, Lakers, Blazers, Pelicans, Jazz are their last 5 games of the season. And that Laker game had no LeBron or no AD. No AD.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Warriors at Trailblazers, Pelicans at Kings. If the Kings lose, the 6th seed is officially cooked. If they win, they still have a shot. And more importantly, it keeps them closer to that 7th seed to get a home. Are we on? This was a thing a couple months ago, and it's kind of gone away because the Kings have lost in both places, at home and on the road. Is anybody on the bandwagon? 916-339-1140. Is anyone on the bandwagon that they'd rather the Kings play on the road? We were seeing that earlier this season when the Kings were playing better on the road and having issues at home. But at this point, if I'm choosing, I'm choosing home.
I'm choosing home. I'm always choosing home. I don't care if the Kings are 1 in whatever at home throughout the season. It is better to have those games at home. I don't care, and people will say, they'll do Captain Hindsight, or they'll be big brain and say, oh, but maybe there's too much pressure at home.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they tighten it. No, like every single team in any sport should not be afraid of playing in your home court. There should be no excuse like that. You should always, 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 always want to play at home, never on the road. I get it. And saying that, I understand why. I've seen every game from this team for at the very least the last 2 years. I understand why people feel that way. But no, ultimately, you want the biggest games of the season to be at home, to be in your control as much as possible, because you think that it's too much pressure to play at home. Just imagine how stressful or how much pressure you feel when it's a serious gotta have it game and you're playing the Warriors at Chase Center. No. Steph hits a 3 to put them up 8. There's a timeout called, and that crowd's going crazy.
Steph is doing
Try and deal with those
during
emotions.
timeouts.
Yeah, that's much worse.
I'll put it to you like this. With this current team, without Malik, and I know Dave said some things. We'll get into the Malik Monk conversation, and could he come back earlier than expected? We will talk about that later in the show. I would say maybe with Malik Monk, who is a dog and feeds off it.
Yeah, provides energy.
Maybe that iteration of that team, I'd have the conversation. With De'Aaron Sabonis and a bunch of role players play better at home.
Corny enough, they need the 6 man. Like they need the crowd. They need that energy. Like if the Kings lose a 19-point lead at home, they're gonna hear it. And I don't necessarily think that that's gonna change the outcome, but it's going to give energy, and you can use that energy however you want. You can use it as fuel.
Wait. You're saying people would boo?
No, they might have, but I more just
not
think
during a play-in.
No, probably not during a play-in, but I'm more just saying, like, as it's spiraling, you might get, hey, maybe instead of booing in a time where during the regular season they might boo, maybe the crowd recognizes they could use a little uplifting
Mocha
right now.
hop in
100%,
and hey,
100%.
Let's turn this thing
fresh,
back up. Turn this thing back up, and that's just not going to happen on the road. And we've seen this Kings team on the road. The issue isn't making shots early; it's making shots late, and it would help. And as far as what I think it would help to be at home because of the importance of the role players with Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter out. Coming up next, the top 30 players right now. Where do Fox and Sabonis fall? And what does that say about the Kings roster construction? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at upsizematters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at upsizematters.com. That's upsizematters.com.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
You have the Ringers updated top 30 players And Chris, you've seen this already?
Yes. Yeah, I saw this. It's on the ringer.com.
Yeah. And
made me a little upset.
Why? Too low, too high?
Well, De'Aaron and Domas both fell from the previous ranking, which I don't understand how Domantas Sabonis gets 61 consecutive double-doubles and yet falls in some rankings. And just doesn't quite make sense to me. He fell from 22 to 24.
And De'Aaron was at 18?
De'Aaron was at
20.
19 and moved to 22.
And now, De'Aaron Fox at 22, Domantas Sabonis at 24. And a lot of people will say, myself included, well, who cares about this list at this point in the season? But I do think it is interesting to compare the level of star you have to the roster that you have to what you are thought to have accomplished or should accomplish with said roster. So some of the names ahead of these guys: Jokic, Doncic, Giannis, Shea, Embiid, Kawhi, Tatum, Steph, Durant, Davis, Booker, James, Brunson, Edwards, Butler, Wembanyama, Halliburton at 17, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Zion Williamson, and Paul George. So if you look at where these guys are, I think the craziest thing to me is how bad the Lakers are and how bad, I guess to a lesser degree, the Suns. There are not many teams on here with two dudes in the top 20. You have the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and then you have the Suns with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, and with two in the top 20, yeah.
With two in the top 20.
Yep.
So to me, that's embarrassing if you are a Suns fan or a
Paul
Lakers
George is
fan.
21, yeah.
You could argue Paul, but at least they're the 4 seed.
Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah.
And by the way, Mavs Clippers is locked and loaded, so that is going to be a great series. But I look at this, Chris, and we're very honest on this show about the roster construction, things like that. You see two guys outside the top 20 in De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, and even when they had Malik Monk and even when they had Kevin Huerter, I look at this and it tells me, when you look at other guys that are higher up, right? It's almost like the higher up you are, the better your cast needs to be, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I also see Jamal Murray's in the top 20.
So Jamal Murray and Jokic, and that's kind of surprising for Jamal
Yeah,
Murray.
that's why I was like, I don't know if Jamal Murray is better than De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Bonus, but okay.
You get that championship, people look at you differently.
Don't get me started at number 17.
And the guys that don't have another dude, right? So the Lucas, and by the way, there was a conversation about Kyrie versus Brunson. I think we've had it before. But Luka not having anybody else. Giannis not having anybody else, even though Dame is 26. Shea not having anybody else. Embiid not having anybody else. It really speaks to how important the rest of the cast is, because if you look at Shea at 4, he's high up, but the rest of his cast is on an upwards trajectory. And the other guys that are really high up, let's say Jason Tatum 7, look at the team put around him. So as much as we talk about whether or not De'Aaron Fox can be one of the dudes and really Sabonis as well, it really matters who else you have around these guys, because you can have a top player like Luka and still, they found a way to get to the 5 seed, but still for majority of the season be fighting for a play-in.
Yeah.
That's just where we're at right now, and it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's really, really tough. And you look at the best teams in the league, and it's no coincidence, and it kind of goes hand in hand, but like Denver has 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 of their starters in the top 100 of this list. OKC has 3 guys in the top 50 of this list. And so when you talk about, the other guys building it up, the Kings have 2 guys in the top 100 of this list. And now you could argue, like, how is Malik Monk not at least in the low 90s, high 80s? I would definitely make that argument, but ultimately he's not here. Like, he's not playing with this team right now.
Wouldn't matter.
To your point about the roster construction, like the Kings, that's where they're at right now, is they have these 2 guys. They're both according to this list, I would argue they should be higher. I would honestly probably argue Sabonis should be higher than Fox, but whatever. 2 top 25 guys in the league. That's where, that's why the development of Keegan Murray was so essential. That's why, Malik definitely did his part in taking that step up this year, but he is so essential to this team playing. Kevin Huerter's probably supposed to be close to 100 on this list if I had to guess.
Last season, weren't you saying last season they had 4 guys on this list?
They might have.
It was at least 3.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a time capsule in this article.
I'm pretty sure Kevin Huerter was on the list.
They had a couple, and usually HB's like the default guy that at the start of the year, like teams will just throw in there because they don't actually watch the games. But like I think that's really telling is the fact that the Kings just don't have that third guy that's even on the. Keegan's definitely that guy, but not to be recognized in the top 100 or clearly as a top 100 guy. I think that's where this team needs to improve, and it can still be the internal development of Keegan. But ultimately, when you look at the teams that they're competing against, a lot of even the Lakers, granted they are the Lakers, but they have 4 guys on this list. Austin Reeves is 77, D'Lo's 83. I would probably argue that that's a bit of Laker bias, but I think that's, even the Warriors like Draymond and Clay, those guys are always going to be in the top 100. And even now they're not at the top of their game. I'm sure they're still in the top 100 of this list. I think it really is a sign that the Kings just kind of didn't have the depth and talent that I think they thought they had. And actually the Warriors have 3. Clay's not even on the top 100. Kaminga is number 81.
Your guy.
How is Kaminga 81 on this list and Malik Monk is not featured? Someone make that make
Warrior
sense.
bias.
Insane.
You know what it is.
That's insane.
Speaking of bias, when you talk about a guy who may have improved versus having a hot season, what do you think about D'Angelo Russell's value? Because
I hate it.
It feels, I know a sucker is born every day, but it feels like you should want D'Lo to continue to ball out. The season's almost over. He's what? You said 80-something, 70-something on this list?
83 on this
Malik
list.
Monk isn't on the list, but I have no clue if other teams, we keep on throwing out the Orlando Magic. If you need a scoring guard, go get D'Lo. But I don't know if teams actually, D'Lo's in this weird spot where he could ball out and it doesn't feel like anybody cares because it just feels like he had a good season, but we know what he is. But as Kings fans, you can hope that somebody is going to say, all right, I think D'Lo might be one of our guys and prioritize D'Lo over Malik Monk. Maybe that happens.
No, absolutely. D'Lo's 28 years old. You could convince yourself that he's turned a corner or something, in the same way that Malik has. Malik has definitely turned a corner here in Sacramento. D'Lo's a little bit older than he is, but absolutely, that's 100% the hope is that somebody convinces themselves that D'Lo's the guy, and that lowers the market for Malik. And I think the same thing is true of Clay as well. If Clay gets a big bag from Orlando, or at least gets thrown that offer, I think that's good for Malik or better for the Kings because the more people that are focused on getting guys who aren't Malik Monk, I definitely think that's going to be better for the Kings. I think Malik is definitely going to prioritize being the priority of somebody's free agent list. And there's no doubt about it. He's going to be number 1 for the Kings. I don't know. That's a good point. Especially if the Lakers do make the playoffs somehow, hopefully that's not at the Kings' expense.
Go off.
Yeah, if it ends up leading to Malik not getting the bag and D'Lo getting it, that might be a nice consolation prize.
Coming up next, we have an update on the developing story with Shohei Ohtani and the betting situation. Also, what has his former translator admitted to, and what are the next steps? And we have some numbers on De'Aaron Fox needing to drive more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No team has owned the Kings more than the New Orleans Pelicans. Thursday at 7. The Kings look for their first win of the season against New Orleans.
It's grabbed by Davion. Bullet pass to the corner. Keegan for 3. Score the triple. What a super assist from Davion Mitchell. Keegan Murray now has 14.
It's game 80. The Kings and Pelicans. Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports.
Psst. Hey,
I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant. Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what is happening for Dodge's last call sales event?
We're celebrating 75 years in business by offering 75 new Dodge Chargers and Challengers at enormous discounted prices to say thank you. Right now, get your hands on the last of the gas-powered 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GTs and SXTs and save up to $13,000 off MSRP. But you better hurry in because you only have until April 13th.
How about the Scat Packs? Any deals on those?
Yep. We've got some of the biggest savings I've ever seen. But like I said, you better hurry in because these are the very last of the gas-powered Chargers and Challengers. And you only have until April 13th to cash in on this anniversary savings.
You better get moving to Hoblet Dodge in Woodland or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on Dodge Charger Challenger SXT after 8420 factory rebates and 4,600 dealer discounts. May include 500 first responder cash. Must be current member of eligible First Responder Association. 10th is net savings. See dealer for details.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a true hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
I'm familiar with your leaderboard standings for round 1 of the 88 Masters Tournament. Ryan Fox now out in front with 5 under and through 8. Eric Von Rooyen right behind with 4 under and through 13. The incomparable Tiger Woods scheduled to tee off at 12:54. Your Masterboard leader standings are of course presented by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Super Shooter Frank from the 916 says, we don't want D'Lo in our locker room. No, we want him in someone else's locker room, and hopefully he takes a lot of cash from someone, another team, which would give the Kings a better chance of holding on to their guy, Malik Monk. Chris, we joke a lot on this show about foul merchants and got some numbers here from Tim Maxwell of the Kings Herald. And they were interesting. Here it is. On the season, SGA draws fouls on 9.5% of his drives. On the season, Fox draws fouls on 9% of his drives. They rank 4th and 5th, respectively, in personal fouls among players averaging at least 15 drives per game. SGA drives 24 times per game. Fox drives 15 times per game. So maybe it's not just about the merchantness. Maybe it's about driving more if you're De'Aaron Fox. Now, the difference is I know SGA has a much better free throw percentage than De'Aaron.
Yeah. I would say the big difference there is that sounds good on paper, but De'Aaron also doesn't have the ball in his hands nearly as much as SGA does. De'Aaron, they run an actual off. Obviously, Sabonis has the ball in his hands a ton when the Kings are running their offense. Watching OKC the other day, I did not realize just how much it is just SGA. And even on the broadcast, they said, this is what SGA does the last 5 minutes of the game. It's pretty much just him isolating one side of the floor, backing somebody down and looking for foul calls at the last 5 minutes. I just think it's a completely different style of play. And yeah, definitely if De'Aaron had the ball in his hands more, if it was more of a pick and roll offense, I think you would probably see him driving and getting downhill more. But with how the Kings offense is set up, that's just not what De'Aaron's asked to do. He's not asked to get the ball at half court, get a screen and just run at the rim. He's asked to pass and play, especially now he's asked to play more off ball than I've seen him play all season. So it's just not quite an apples to apples thing.
I hear you. I mean,
he still needs to drive more, but I just think it's not when you're comparing it directly to Shea and saying, if you just do this, you will be Shea. Well, that's just not how the offenses are set up.
No, but I will say that you need to be able to adjust at the end of the game. And saying this about the reigning clutch player of the year doesn't even seem to make very much sense. But here we are. You need to be able to adjust towards the end of the game and look, De'Aaron's made some big threes. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He's definitely made some big threes, but you had multiple opportunities and you didn't even try. It felt like to switch. It was
terrible. The Thunder game. Yeah, that was inexcusable. I mean, that game I feel like is its own separate thing. I mean, I don't think he's taken 17 threes in a game in his entire career. Not that he hasn't taken a ton here recently, but I feel like if we want to talk specifically about that, I think that's absolutely De'Aaron has to be not just settling for the three there. You have to be trying to attack the rim. I don't necessarily know if he has to look for a foul in that situation, but you definitely can't just settle for pulling a three right there.
The only reason I bring it up is because due to the injuries, he could find himself in a similar position tonight, right? And tomorrow night,
sure.
Right? It's going to be more De'Aaron than we've seen, and it was already a lot of De'Aaron in crunch time. I can't wait, Chris, and when I say I can't wait, I definitely can. I'm just hoping that there's no CJ McCollum. What was it that the Kings could have drafted him or said they were going to draft him? And
CJ McCollum got picked 10th, and he's upset that the Kings were one of the 9 teams that passed on him.
So yeah, anytime he goes off against any of those teams in front, hey, I always got a little extra something. I don't want to hear it. As far as matchups defensively, it feels like the Kings, and by the way, no Brandon Ingram, will break down all the injury updates later in the show. But as far as the Kings defensively and the length that they have guarding the Trey Murphys and the Herb Joneses of the world, there's only one Keegan Murray, and you're really going to need, I know it's been the Keon show lately, and then it's kind of been the Davion show, but you need that length out there. And I don't know how much, and I've never really been too high on the 3-guard setup. I just haven't really believed in it a ton, but I don't know how much you're going to be able to run that 3-guard lineup tonight.
No, yeah. I mean, I would actually be very, very welcome to see Keegan Murray play the 2 tonight. I think it's something Jason Anderson asked back when we were at home previously. I think right before the road trip, he had asked Mike if maybe that's something we're going to see more is Keegan at the 2. Mike said yes. He played Keegan at the 2 that night, and I just don't think we've seen a lot of it since. That would make a lot of sense to me. I mean, just trying to match the Pelicans' length for what the Kings have. I mean, they really don't have a ton of guys who have length, but throw Keegan out there at the 2. Maybe you can do Trey and Sasha at the 4 and at the 3 and the 4, and then run Sabonis and Len out there. I definitely think you have to try and you have to try match the Pelican size tonight. You can't just go with the small guards. We've seen that to me, the big thing too is, Herb Jones is great. Trey Murphy's playing incredible. You got to find a way to stop Zion. You got to slow him down. You can't let Zion get whatever he wants.
Make him go right.
Get to the rim and get those left-handed layups. Like it's just, it's fine if Zion ends up with 30, but can we make him work? Can we run him on the defensive end? The Kings have more motion in their offense than just about any other team in the league. I'm sure they're going to put him on Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes doesn't really move much on the offensive end. You got to try and force feed HB at least a little bit, just to, even if it is a dummy, just to get Zion moving. You got to try and tire him out. He's carrying a really heavy burden right now with Ingram out as well. Just make him work all night. Make him work for all of his shots and definitely run him on the defensive end. Those are the 2 things. I think if you do those, you drastically help your chances of winning because, they don't have Brandon Ingram, that's been the real problem every time they play the Pelicans is they slowed down Zion, I think, the last time they played, but Brandon Ingram still scored 30. And it's just been a pick and pull of, well, we can't double Zion because that equals Ingram going off, and then we can't double Ingram because then Zion's going to take advantage. So the fact that they don't have Ingram tonight, you just have to make Zion's life difficult.
And I'll be honest with you, the more I think about it, we've been probably harder on Coach Mike Brown these last couple weeks than
people would disagree
than we have been prior. Well, it depends.
Me.
Well, yeah, maybe it's just me. I do think that there is a level of no excuse tonight from a game plan standpoint when you're playing a team for the 5th time.
Sure.
Like if the game plan doesn't end up working or something within the game plan just goes awry, fine. But you have to, knowing that there's no Brandon Ingram, and I believe one of the games, I feel like there was a game that they played the Pelicans without Brandon Ingram. It was either without Brandon Ingram or CJ McCollum. It was
without CJ. I know they played
lost.
At least one of those.
Yeah, and it was just the Zion show. And there has to be, you play a team 4 times, you should probably have at least a game plan to take care of business. Here you go, Chris. This is against former CJ McCollum team, the Blazers. This is what the Pelicans did on Tuesday. Trey Murphy, 31 points. 31 points
That's
for Trey Murphy. Zion, 22. Valanciunas, we'll talk about that matchup with Sabonis. Sabonis being a little bit fatigued. And how much Alex Len should we see? I think you might need to see more Alex Len than we have been. CJ McCollum dropped 29. So those Herb Jones only dropped 7. So that's where, and again, yes, the Blazers aren't very good, but they do have some guys that can put the biscuit in the basket. And Chris's favorite player of all time, Jose Alvarado. I promise you, Chris, I'll leave. If it happens, I'll leave.
Grand Theft Alvarado?
I'll leave.
Yeah. Not in Golden One Center. Because the worst part is the entire crowd's going to see it happening. And you're going to hear the, hey, behind you, and then it's going to happen.
I'll
and
leave.
It's going to be more frustrating.
I'll leave. So
get ready.
So Trey Murphy, if we're talking blitzing here, which we believe will happen.
I wouldn't.
I mean, we've seen it every game. We've seen a little bit of it every game, though.
I
didn't think we would see it last game.
I don't know who they would like. I mean, CJ's the only one who really brings it down the floor. I wouldn't blitz CJ. I wouldn't be afraid of CJ. I'll think CJ go ahead.
No. I'm saying blitz Zion.
I don't know how much pick and roll they run with Zion up top. I mean, if they run the pick and roll for sure, I I still would. My biggest priority with Zion is not allowing him to get downhill. So, I mean, if you have to blitz, sure. I would try and show on the other end and just kind of, as Stan Van once famously said, build the wall, man. You just got to make sure that you don't allow him to get into the paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't like seeing the blitzes, period. Sometimes they work, but I just feel like it's a matter of time before teams figure it out. And at this point in the season, every team has seen every look, right? So if you are able to make adjustments, you can adjust to, okay, this is how they're playing us. This is what we'll do. So there's a little bit of, hey, bad matchups are bad matchups, but also this is the 5th time we're playing this team. Yeah. We have to be able to have something. But that's what Laker fans thought against the Kings.
That's right. And I'm looking at it here, actually. The Pelicans have really struggled as of late. They've lost games to the Celtics, Suns, Magic, Spurs, and then have won back-to-back against the Suns and the Blazers. But looking at their defensive rating, it has been they are 22nd in the NBA right now, their last 5 games in defensive rating. Mm-hmm. And I assume that's all without Brandon Ingram. And it makes sense. Like, I never understood how this team was even passable on the defensive end when you have Valanciunas, you have Zion, who's not really a great one-on-one defender. CJ's a turnstile. Maybe, again, I think I said it the other day, and it looked good for the first half, but this might be a game where the Kings need to lean more on their offense as well. Like, you got to try and be that offensive juggernaut that we've seen. I don't know if they're capable of doing it anymore, but, we've seen some of the worst teams in the NBA come and play Sacramento. And when they were, allowing the most threes of any opponent, it didn't matter if it was you or me, San Antonio, didn't matter. Those teams were coming in and shooting 40%. I would love to see the Kings take advantage of a bad defensive team and, actually do what teams have done to us all year and play to their disadvantages.
But I thought that part of the issue with the Pelicans was their length. So you don't mean their length defensively, just offensively?
Length and
just the Pelicans and why the Kings have struggled with them.
That's like shooting. Like, shooting and deflections is where the length will come in because they can still contest outside shots. But in terms of one-on-one defenders, Herb Jones is a good one.
Right. That's the one.
Trey Murphy's okay, but besides that, I mean, the Kings should be able to win a lot of their one-on-one matchups straight up, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We haven't really seen them take advantage of one-on-one matchups because
it's just a flow offense.
They're supposed to find it themselves, right? They don't hunt anybody.
They don't do that. Coming up next, update on Shohei, update on the A's. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
We all know what UV rays can do to our skin, but they can also do damage to your car. Keep that from happening with 303 Protectant. 303 Protectant keeps the sun's harmful rays from causing fading and cracking in rubber, plastic, or vinyl surfaces. From the dashboard to the tires, 303 Protectant keeps your car looking new longer. Get 303 Protectant today at Advanced Auto Parts. Visit 303radio.com for more information.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
There's an update in the Shohei Ohtani saga. Chris, what is going on?
This is from ESPN baseball reporter Alden Gonzalez. He says Ippei, Shohei Ohtani's longtime interpreter and confidant, has been charged with bank fraud, which is not new. We've known this. After it was discovered, he transferred more than $16 million from Ohtani's account to an alleged illegal sportsbook, federal authorities announced in an LA court today. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada said, quote, "The bets do not appear to have been made on the sport of baseball. They were placed between 2021 and 2024. Ippei, according to Estrada, set up the account for Shohei Ohtani and didn't have access to Ohtani's reps or financial advisors." And that is...
But why would he want access to that? They would have shut the thing down.
They would have seen it, right, which is what I don't... Maybe he meant to say, because it was also... there were some typos in it. Maybe he meant to say that the accounts were out of the reach of those people. That would make a lot more sense, is that he set up an account that the reps and advisors didn't have access to.
So the 4 point whatever million that was initially that was just the tip of the iceberg. It's actually
the tip of the iceberg. That might have been one of 4 payments, honestly. Yeah.
Wow.
That is
16 mil.
16 mil. It was bad enough when it was 4.
And how bad are you at betting?
Another great question.
What are you laying them down on, brother?
Brother.
You need to just follow. You can pay for a subscription to get better bets.
How many times did he double down? How many times did he double or nothing?
That's a quadruple down.
Yeah, he must have. Like, I don't understand how you would even get to the situation where that kind of money is being thrown out. And also, I mean, this does even further the question of, come on, really? 16 million, brother. 16 million just gone.
It's an account that he's not paying attention to.
This could just be the ultimate ignorance on my end of, like, I really don't understand how much money these fools just have, like, liquid
can
dollars.
We have a multi-millionaire call in 916-339-1140. How easy is it to keep up with your millions?
Money.
Call someone just won a Billy out in Oregon.
Okay, shout out them.
Call them out. Okay, hey, or somebody that has won the lottery. We see you, just random people that win My Lottery Dream House. Okay, I've seen the show on HGTV. You just randomly won a smooth 50 million, something like that. How hard is it to keep up with that money?
There's no way. There is no way. And that's a separate account. He's just got a side account that's got 20 M's in it. Like, what? How much sense does that make?
But Chris, I'm
just
telling
nothing.
You. But Chris,
nothing.
Because I'm looking here.
Not an email.
It says, and this is actually surprising. Shohei is anywhere between 50 and 60 million as far as net worth, which feels low to me. But I did it purposely before the big contract, and the big contract is broken down until he's about 75 years old.
Right, he's only making and he's even deferring payments. He's deferring payments right now.
To your point,
he's not even getting his full contract.
I'm seeing 50 mil everywhere. To your point, and I know net worth isn't what's in your bank account, but I thought it'd be higher. I mean, 16 mil, your net worth is 50 mil. It feels like you would notice that.
At least an alarm, an alert, something. Like, you're telling me
I can't even go to Vegas without getting a hit up from my bank saying, "This you, bro?"
Come on.
Yes,
like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Way. I mean,
but he bypassed all that by having the information, though.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, and that's where being the interpreter and being the confidant really does pay its advantages here.
He wasn't just, I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
He clearly wasn't just the interpreter.
Right.
He was his right-hand man.
Right.
He was handling everything.
Yeah.
He wasn't answering to anybody else.
Right. Which is why I think it's so interesting that none of this is on baseball, which again proves the degeneracy of it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at the very least, like, do some insider trading here, my guy. Like, if you're kidding, if you have more, like you just said, like, he's clearly more than an interpreter. He's hearing a lot of things. Like, at the very least, hey, Mookie's knee hurts today or whatever. I guess he's on the Angels, but it's like, Like Mike Trout. Oh, he's feeling sick today or something.
Point.
Like, at least use that to your
advantage. If you're going to go down, if you're looking at jail time anyway.
Yeah.
So
maybe that was here's the thing. Maybe this bookie has morals.
Everybody has morals.
He's like, hey, man, you're a little too close to the sun.
Right.
I'm not going to lose money because you know what you're talking about.
Hey, I will let you bet this stolen money. I will let you bet this stolen money, but I will not let you use the game of baseball to win.
I got an idea. That was Ippei.
Also, the book, and I don't know if it's one of these sites or something, but if there was an actual bookie, did he get catfished? He or she, did they think, oh, this is Shohei?
That's a great question.
Cashing out this money.
That's a great
I
question.
have a secret that nobody knows. Shohei is a degenerate bettor.
That's incredible.
And then they're somewhere just looking. You lied to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was Shohei. I told my friends that I know
I'm gonna look
Shohei.
like an idiot now.
Yeah, this is insane.
It's crazy, man. And again, I have a tough time believing Shohei's just going to be able to. I mean, I'm sure that they'll allow him to because he is baseball's star right now. But if this thing really, it's starting to touch Fed territory here. I think Shohei is going to have to say something. Like, it can't just be a prepared statement that you read to the public and don't get questioned on at all. I think he's going to have to actually answer some questions at some point.
With a new interpreter.
With a new interpreter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You think Ippei's just over there like, I gave you that. Everything you have was mine.
Ippei, you didn't want it.
You literally fumbled the bag, bro.
And I'm trying to figure out how much. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys don't get paid as much as you think.
Interpreter, that is? Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, I'm sure it was nice.
I'm sure. Because I'm sure he got some private funds, and I'm sure he also...
Because he wasn't just the interpreter.
He's a team employee. I'm sure he's a Shohei Incorporated employee, and who knows? Maybe his services weren't just used. I think, you know what? Actually, I remember hearing as well that this guy, Ippei, has a shady history in general.
I got you.
He lied on his resume about being an interpreter for a former player.
Well, and I think he lied about school, too.
Yeah.
This is from ZipRecruiter.
Oh,
okay.
That is a very reliable source.
This is from ZipRecruiter.
Love that.
Okay. How much does an MLB interpreter make in Brooklyn, New York? Okay. While ZipRecruiter is seeing salaries as high as $109,000 and as low as $25,000, the majority of salaries within Major League Baseball interpreter jobs category range between $52K and $72K, with top earners 90th percentile, which I would assume
I'd hope so.
Shohei's guy was in, 84K, which is nice, but I thought it'd be much higher. So I would assume he was making about, for Shohei, 150. I would say 150K.
I don't know if this hurts or helps his case of interpreters making more money in the future, because it's like, hey, man, if I made more money, maybe I wouldn't have to bet. But at the same time, you give them more money.
Yeah. I thought it would be higher. I really did. I thought it would be higher, but you still tricked off what you were making. And now, sir, tell them what they won, Johnny. Jail time.
Jail time.
We'll be back.
Feds.
Tim Cowan article on the A's. Does Vivek have a secret plan? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No team has owned the Kings more than the New Orleans Pelicans. Thursday at 7. The Kings look for their first win of the season against New Orleans.
It's grabbed by Davion. Bullet pass to the corner. Keegan for three. Score the triple. What a super assist from Davion Mitchell. Keegan Murray now has 14.
It's game 80. The Kings and Pelicans. Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now you've heard me talk about my amazing experience with them when I got my new EQS. I tell everybody I know, their dedication to every customer is incredible. Whether it's by text or call, they are available whenever I need them. And they're also a major Mercedes commercial van sales and service center as well. So if you're a biz owner with a vehicle fleet, Mercedes-Benz vans are a smart business move. They're rugged, sophisticated cargo haulers that qualify for very generous tax breaks. And it is a Benz. Your drivers will love it, and your company will look great. Sprinters are available at rates starting at 4.9% APR, so go take a tour of the gorgeous new Mercedes-Benz of Stockton showroom, a half hour from SAC, right off of I-5 at the 8 Mile Road exit, or online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com.
If you've got weak Wi-Fi, it's time to rethink your internet provider. Fidium Fiber's dedicated connection offers tons of bandwidth, and whole home Wi-Fi lets you seamlessly connect all your devices all at the same time. Visit FidiumFiber.com today.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details, M43024.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Simone is ready for that Drizzy diss track. Keeping them coming. I'm telling you. It's going to be fire.
It's going to be good?
It always is.
I don't know who wrote it, but it's going to be good. 916. The interpreter lied on his resume and said that he graduated from Davis.
No way.
From UC Davis.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Aggies up.
Great.
And whether
they always say.
And whether or not there are any lies floating around with this A's situation moving forward, Tim Keown of ESPN wrote an article, Chris, and our guy Casey Pratt got a hold of it. Tim Kawakami is talking about it. Everybody is talking about it. And this is a blurb from the article on ESPN.com that Tim Kawakami tweeted and wanted to, I guess, focus in on. And I thought it was really interesting. Vivek is definitely bright. One source who requested, this is Tim's article and talking to different sources throughout the article. Vivek is definitely bright. One source who requested anonymity said he made an assessment. Vegas will eventually fall apart, and wherever the team is at that moment is where it will stay. He's not the only one who believes that, close quote. So it's the finders keepers thing. And nobody believes that this Vegas thing is going to work. What we've gone back and forth on is, can you make the necessary updates? There's just so many ifs in this situation that I understand why I understand why Vivek made the move, regardless of whether you hold on to the A's or not. But there's so many ifs in terms of whether it comes to Vegas, but also keeping the A's, because I think that there's also a conversation that hasn't been had yet based on what the players have said about the Coliseum besides Justin Turner. It really is about, in this 3 years, where does Sutter Health get to? Because why wouldn't the situation fall through? And if John Fisher is still the owner, even if he's cool with Vivek, couldn't Major League Baseball say you need to go back to the Coliseum? Or I guess they,
Maybe
what I
not.
mean?
That might be a bit messy, though, to like go back, forth.
If Vegas is done.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
Well, that's why I think, yes, I think it really matters what happens these next 3 years with Sutter Health.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
if it doesn't get there,
you got to play somewhere else. I mean,
yeah.
Or it's all parts equal. Because I think you said yesterday, like, if you have to tear down Sutter Health Park, like, why not just open it up to everybody?
That's a good call. So I think they need to find out if Vegas is going to happen or not as soon as possible. Yeah. Because if you're tearing down, or not even tearing down, saying, hey, you need a new spot.
Yeah, like
that brings back Oakland and the waterfront. That brings back Salt Lake City, who, oh, by the way, might be getting the Coyotes from Arizona. I don't know. I just don't know how realistic it is that even if Vegas falls through, they would stay at Sutter Health.
I think that the hope is just convenience, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's really what they're banking on, is the fact that pretty much at every turn here, this situation has been dealt with. What's the easiest way of just squaring away this problem? Let's just move them to Vegas. Oh, they don't want them? Well, what if we just waive the relocation? Like, let's just get this thing done. Right. Okay, well, we need to figure out we need to figure out where the A's and the Rays stay before we can do expansion. Let's just get the A's somewhere where they can play baseball, and we'll figure it. And so I think that's kind of the bet, is that they're just going to continue to do that. And I think, Vivek's not the first person to probably come up with that idea. I mean, we've kicked it around. I think tons of people have kicked it around. It's not, it wouldn't be surprising, I think, to anybody, even those who are really deep in baseball, like the Ken Rosenthal's of the world, have even gone out and said, it's definitely looking pretty shaky there. David Sampson the other day on Carmichael Dave's show with Jason Ross said, don't really get involved with the politics in Vegas, because that's already a messy situation that's going to figure itself out or won't. And it's already looking negative. So I think there's already a lot of things working in the favor of Vivek's thought process. But you're right. Like, there isn't any guarantee that at the end of the rainbow, there's going to be a pot of gold for Sacramento. I think there's a much better chance that it's there. But at the same time, you're right. Like, if the Sutter Health Park isn't brought up to MLB standard in the next 3 years, which I honestly don't know if it can or if it can't, how easy that is or how difficult it is. Why wouldn't Oakland still be in the conversation with their new ballpark if the city still has the funding from it? Yeah, if you're all starting from scratch in 3 years or 4 years or however long, I don't see why not.
Yeah, if this thing doesn't stay at Sutter Health, I think it could go not anywhere, but it could go in a lot of different places. And we have a bunch of texts coming in from the 530. Who is building the park? This is if Sutter Health didn't work. Who is building the park? Where is the money for the ballpark coming from? We were talking in the pre-show about the Vikings and how sometimes you can get funding from the city and it works out that way, but you're not fully convinced that Sacramento would just say, yeah, let's do this. The same way Vegas and all these cities. And that's why what the city of Oakland actually was able to come up with
is very impressive.
Was pretty impressive.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think that if they're going to try and get public funding, I don't think that the appetite is that much here for the A's. Like, I think that obviously,
or that comes out of pocket. That's the other option.
That would have to be it. I mean, there's no way I couldn't see the city of Sacramento funding this ballpark on top of also funding Golden One Center. Even that is something that was incredibly rare for that thing to pass and for it to be publicly funded. I think that, it would have to be at some point, and this is the thing that every single city has pushed these billionaire owners. You're a billionaire. You freaking build it.
Yeah.
This is your building. If someone wants to build a skyscraper, again, I could be ignorant on how skyscraper funding works, but I don't believe that the city comes a lot out of pocket for building your company's skyscraper. If you want a building for your organization, sorry, pal, you're going to have to build it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe that appetite is bigger and maybe Sacramento wants to get it done that much, but I wouldn't think so.
From the 916, and we spent some time with our own Whitey Gleason last week on this. Sutter Health Park was engineered to be redesigned into a big league ballpark. It's designed to add another level above the suites and bleachers in the outfield.
It was engineered to be that way.
That's what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Due to really
built
bad weather, I don't know how close they got. And Whitey was saying, they're basically, that was the plan. And as they were literally building it, it was just a crazy situation as far as weather-wise.
Right.
And they
had to build it on a time crunch.
Yes, they did not get to fulfill everything they wanted to fulfill. Now, how close they got and how easy it would be, I think in Vivek's mind, it's Sutter. I don't know. I'm not sure, but in my mind, and obviously to that point that you said, hey, if we can get this thing to 20K somehow, which would still be a little less than 15 thousand fans than the Detroit Tigers, which is the smallest stadium, maybe this is our one-off cool situation. Because I don't know how you can transform something from 14 to 30. I don't know. And again,
no, you couldn't do that because you would have to add up another deck of seating to that's already behind there, and then you would also have to add the outfield. And the problem is too with Sutter Health Park is the clubhouse is in the outfield, so I don't know how much of stands and the setup that they have over here for the Sac Republic. That's all pretty much not makeshift, but I mean, it's built in at the stadium. And I don't know, or like a pop-up at the stadium. I don't know if that's something that could necessarily be done at Sutter Health Park. And, that's not including all the other things that they're going to have to build up. I mean, I know the clubhouse got improved, but they're going to need family rooms. They're going to need, better, I'm assuming training equipment and, just tons more stuff that just needs to straight up be developed. And there's not much space on that property.
No, but what I keep telling people and what I keep saying on these airwaves is that's not really a Sacramentan, just a normal resident Sacramentan. You shouldn't be worried about that.
Not at all.
You shouldn't
that's billionaire problems.
Yeah, you shouldn't be caught up in whether or not you'll get to keep the A's. Yeah. It's just whether you feel some type of way about it, whether you don't. If you want to go, go. If you don't want to go, don't go. Don't shame anybody for going. Don't shame anybody for not going. Just live. And I know I sound like we're living in a perfect world, Candyland here, but I just, whatever happens, and I do think it's really interesting, and people like us where it will affect our job to some degree, we have to be more invested. But as far as just a normal person driving in their car right now or watching on YouTube or the Sactown Sports app, whatever it may be, if you want to go, go. And whatever happens after the 3 years, we'll see. Because you're going to continue to get a lot of different conspiracy theories on this thing. But I do think that the main pieces that need to be figured out are whether or not this thing is going to be able to be MLB specs moving forward. What is going to happen with Vegas? Because the longer Vegas kind of lingers, the shorter time you would be having to create something new if Sutter can't get there. So they need to figure out if Sutter can get there from a long period of time standpoint, if this is Vivek's secret plan, and what is going to happen with Vegas, all that. And I do think we're going to find that stuff out within the next couple of years.
I would think so.
I don't think we're going to be sitting there in year 3 and it's actually Vegas just fell through. I think we're going to find out pretty soon here what is going to happen. We will hear from Ken Rosenthal, who is on Foul Territory, with some things to say about the A's attracting players. We don't want to hear about Shohei hitting home runs. What about
Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge. What about guys on the A's and how you will pull in some good players to watch a good product while in Sacramento. Stiles and Watkins. Then after that, 12 o'clock, don't miss it. Keys to the game. Chris Watkins has the secret sauce to beating the Pelicans. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tub Shed, new dog treatment sensors, and Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater. Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Back to this Shohei Ippei story. I guess some texts and emails have been released, and the stuff that Ippei was saying were just insane. Chris was reading them during the break. Chris, take it away.
I swear this is real. I know it sounds like this is a bit. This is absolutely real. This is from the government's complaint against Ippei here. He said this is on or about November 14th, 2022, Ippei messaged Bookmaker One stating, quote, I'm terrible at this sports betting thing, huh? LOL. Any chance you could bump me again? As you know, you don't have to worry about me not paying. Ugh. He also said, quite literally on his mama, said on or about November 14th, 2022, on or about December 9th. He also messaged the bookmaker saying, can you bump me last 200? I swear on my mom, this is the last ask before I pay it off once I get back to the States. Sorry for keep asking. Bookmaker 1 responded the same day saying, no problem, done, bud. Merry Christmas. There is another exchange between Ippei and said Bookmaker 1 in which he says, this is as recently as March 20th, after reports come out about this scandal. Ippei messaged Bookmaker stating, have you seen the reports? The Bookmaker responds, yes, that's all BS. Obviously, you didn't steal from him. I understand it's a cover job. Ippei responds, technically, I did steal from him. It's all over for me.
Wow. So wait, the bookmaker thought that Shohei was betting separately?
To your point, no, he thought this was Shohei.
The whole time.
He said, I understand it's a cover job. So this whole time, I guess he did think that they were, maybe he didn't think it was Shohei directly. Maybe he thought it was like a joint account kind of thing. But it seems to me that, yes, you were actually right. The bookmaker thought that this was Ippei doing it in the name of Shohei. And Ippei, up until the time the report comes out, literally says, technically I did steal from him. It's all over for me.
You know this bookie was telling his friends,
everybody,
guys, I don't think you knew this, but Shohei is actually a gambler, man.
No, he probably does the thing where he doesn't say Shohei, but I'm just going to say this. It's a popular sports figure, not from America.
Right. I'm just going to say this. He hits and pitches. But I'm not going to say who.
Reggie Crawford.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who. And it's not Bryce Eldridge.
That's right.
All right. Wow. That is insane.
Crazy. And I'm sure more is going to come out. These are just people who are filing through, I guess, the feds released an actual document finding or with all of their findings. Mm-hmm. And if you check social right now, it's just people digging through. So I'm sure there's definitely going to be more that ends up coming out.
Wow. That is crazy. I mean, baseball is in an interesting spot right now. Some more on the A's before we get back to the Kings at the top of the hour. This is from Foul Territory. Ken Rosenthal, who is senior writer for The Athletic, MLB on Fox. You know him if you watch any baseball. He's been around for a very long time. This is Ken Rosenthal discussing how the A's would be able to spend more and get players to Sacramento.
Well, what I wrote about was this idea that the A's are putting out there that they're going to ramp up their payroll in Sacramento. And ultimately, when they get to Las Vegas, they plan, or so they say, to have a top tier payroll, top half of the league. The numbers that I heard and reported were $130 to $150 million payroll in the years leading up to Vegas in Sacramento. And then once they get to Vegas, 170. They're at 60 right now. So I will believe that when I see it. I'm not quite sure how they would get there. And I talked to a few players and I asked, hey, would you want to sign with the Sacramento A's? And most of them had their reservations, from the minor league park to the way the team is run to virtually everything. You can overpay free agents. Yeah, you can overpay them. And maybe that's what the A's will have to do. You can even sign some of your younger players to extensions to ramp up payroll in that sense, though it doesn't necessarily do that in the early years. You can do all kinds of things. You can take on bad contracts. None of these things I'm suggesting are particularly wise from a baseball perspective. So I don't know where they're going with this. And it just seems to me that they've said a lot of things over the years, a lot of things about the way they're going to conduct their search for a new ballpark, and now the way they're going to conduct their team and run their team. I want to see it. I want to see it before I believe it.
Scott Boras on line one.
Can the A's get Bobby Bonilla's contract?
I mean,
just on the books, just to cook it a bit.
Scott Boras on line one, just overpay. They're basically going to have to, with Masters going on, this is funny, they're going to have to live golf it. Yeah. And they're going to have to just open their wallets. Throw money at people to get them to come to Sacramento. And it's not going to be smart, but in that sport, you can do it. They haven't done it in the past. But, yeah, I mean, money talks, right?
Sure.
And if you're going to – now, how much are we talking here? Yeah. If it's, somebody that's actually worth $40 million, are you going to have to pay that person $60 million just for the – hey, for the Sacramento
tax.
Basically the Sacramento drama tax. How high is that going to be, and is it even going to work?
I mean, not any actual popular players, because the problem with that is if you take that money, you're then the face of it.
It's just like Liv.
Yeah,
it's just like Liv.
You're then the face of this thing, and you're the one who gets all the tough questions, and you have to explain what's going on with the situation with your team. And there's 29 other teams. So I would just there's just not really a good reason to sign up unless it is a situation where, this is a money that you can't turn down. And maybe you're a little bit past your prime, but the A's are looking for a face and they're willing to throw you a lot more money just to kind of have somebody that they can put on the marquee for Sacramento people to say, hey, I know who that is. And, it's not going to obviously be Juan Soto or something like that, but I'm sure they'll try and get some middle to a, upper middle class baseball player to come here and be a face, really.
Well,
so that way we don't have to talk about Shohei and Aaron Judge hitting home runs.
Well, and Rhys Hoskins, earlier he said that he wouldn't necessarily be thrilled to go out there, but Rhys Hoskins is a guy who, if you do overpay him a little bit, you could say, well, he's going home. Yeah. Right. And I don't think there are enough Sacramento major league players to form a team like that.
Definitely
but
not.
If he is the face that kind of starts it, and then from there it's, well, I'm cool with Rhys, and it is what it is. And Sacramento, he's talked really well about the city and things like that. So maybe that's what happens.
Maybe. That would make the most sense, probably.
Just to be competitive.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. It depends what your definition of competitive is. But,
True.
I think that's the kind of thing that makes a lot of sense, probably for both parties. And that's probably the key of it, is it's got to make sense for both people. Like, there's no way, the A's can throw all the money they want out there, but I don't know if anyone is going to voluntarily sign up for it unless there's something that they're getting out of it. And that thing is more than likely going to be money. I don't know really what else the A's can offer somebody besides the fact that we have to raise that floor, that salary floor.
Well, and based on how old whoever is that they're signing, the A's could say you're going to be, well, here's the other thing. If we're seeing these articles from ESPN that Vegas might fall through, that means that the players are seeing it.
People talk.
So signing in Sacramento, and you don't even know that.
Yeah, how long of a contract did you even sign?
Yeah, exactly. You're not signing anything longer than a 3-year deal.
I wouldn't sign more than one.
Yeah, because you don't even know. And in baseball, they love those long deals. They're trying to get away from them, but they love them. But I'm not signing a 6-year deal with the A's, because I don't even know where y'all are playing after the 3rd year. And there's a 4th-year option, by the way, as well in Sacramento. So you have no clue where anything is happening.
Now, not to mention the fact that they just don't do this anyway.
Right.
Like, they just don't throw out money, period. So even us talking about them getting a star is like, or even not even a star, even a guy like Rhys Hoskins, who I think does fit into that like upper, not average, but like, he's a name and he's a face.
Not a star.
Yeah.
Not
better
than average.
Yeah, he's not Austin Slater or something. Like you're going to know who Rhys is. Even that's not something that the A's have been willing to do. So I can feel or hear A's fans rolling their eyes and saying, like, what is it? The Jesse Chavez is the last guy that they've signed to a big contract. Like, that was in 2005 or whatever. Yeah, there's just no reason to believe, even if whatever Fisher says, he's also said this before, I just don't think it's going to happen regardless. I think that they're going to continue to bank on people are going to show up. Doesn't matter what the A's product is. People are already excited right now They don't know a single player on the team. So now that we're getting less revenue from NBC Sports California, we're making less revenue off of tickets and off of all this stuff. Why would we spend that money now that we're making less than we ever have? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's a really good call about the being the face of it thing, because this is a really, really polarizing story. Yeah. And if I'm a player, I'm being the captain, or I'm choosing to be the face of basically the black eye of baseball right now. So unless you're from Sacramento or you lost your girlfriend in Oakland, I don't really know why you would sign up. You would sign up for that unless you literally have no other option. And if you have no other options, that means you're really not going to be the draw that the A's want. So it's a lot of if this, then that. Coming up next, keys to the game. How to beat the Pelicans. We got the recipes. We're not losing them. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KH2K.com.
Hi everyone, it's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
I'm Simone with your live leaderboard standings for round 1 of the 88th Masters Tournament. New Zealand's Ryan Fox still out in front with 5 under and through 11, and the man with a math plan, Bryson DeChambeau, 4 under and through 13. The incomparable Tiger Woods scheduled to tee off in about 55 minutes from beautiful Augusta, Georgia. Your Masters leaderboard standings are, of course, presented by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
NBA University, which I've just started. I don't know if I follow that. I think I do follow them, Chris. They put out some good stuff. I don't know if they're mostly just on social media, but they put out a coaches challenges success rate. And it's one of those charts where it's basically it's in quadrants. It's like a quadrant graph type deal. And the higher it is, the higher, if you're above the line or the higher you are above the line, means you challenge more often. Obviously, below the line, you challenge less often. Unsuccessful means you're more to the left. Successful means you're more to the right. And the best coach, as far as challenges a lot and is always right, is Dagnall from the Thunder, who we saw a successful challenge when we faced the Thunder. On the left, but high up, is Mike Brown. He is the highest up, and as far as being the most left. So he challenges the most based on how often he gets it wrong.
Sure feels like it. I mean, I know he's been a lot better with where he decides to call the challenges, but yeah, I mean, especially at the start of the year, it was a lot of just the first time anything was in doubt, Mike Brown was going to challenge, and it was just like, dude, this is not worth it at all. You get one of these things, and
there's
if it's
some
wrong,
bad ones, man.
Yeah, there's like a science to it, and it's actually pretty surprising because I thought Mike Brown, I know his son works for the Niners, like I just thought Mike Brown watched more football, and I feel like you can learn a lot about just like the strategy of when to challenge by, I mean, looking how people do it in football. Not that everybody's great at it, but there's definitely like a rhythm or I guess you could say a science to when to call the plays or when it's most advantageous for you. And it doesn't feel like Mike Brown has that kind of consulting. It feels like it's a lot of emotions. And I know they allow it to, it's not even Mike Brown's call, really, funny enough. It ends up, it's Luke Laux and the coaches on the back row that ultimately look at the play and tell Mike, hey, challenge. So it's not really all on Mike Brown.
But aren't there
at the
some times
time,
where he just does it?
Definitely does it.
I do fear out of his unsuccessful challenges. I wonder how many are at home, because he can be a bit of a crowd pleaser. And when he gets out there and he gets on the court and he starts doing his finger and everyone starts cheering, let's go.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here real quick. I know the Kings will send us the Mike Brown's challenge history. I'm trying to see what his actual record is on the season for challenges, because if I had to guess, it's pretty significantly under 500. Like I would guess that he's probably, let's see, actually he's 27-28 on the season.
Okay.
Which feels good, which looks good considering how it feels.
Yes.
And for what it's worth, opponents against the Kings are 25-17. So things have not gone in the Kings' favor at all.
I don't know what to
in
do
that
with
direction. Yeah, that feels like one of those random things where some teams get better than others do. But yeah, Mike Brown, he had a nice little streak, but really hasn't been too successful on his challenges here recently. And you know, ultimately, I kind of go back and forth on how much I want to care about it, because it is kind of a small thing, but at the same time, it feels like one of those where I don't want to say it's IQ test feels like a harsh terminology for it, but it feels like a thing of how composed are you? How much are you aware of the situation? And is this really the right time to do it? And more times than not, it does feel like Mike Brown doesn't call those challenges at the best time, though it's not every single time it's bad. But it also makes a lot of sense that Mark Dagnall would be one of the best coaches, as he is one of the best young minds in the league right now.
Who do you think challenges the least? I know that's a loaded question, I'll give
probably
you
the Lakers.
No.
I would hope because they're getting all the calls anyway.
No, he's right. He's right in the middle. The hint I'll give you is that this coach, you talk about a great mind. Another guy who's considered a great basketball mind, and he's in the Eastern Conference.
Does it the least? Let's say
he's the least, and he's basically in the middle as far as being successful or not accessible. But he is way at the bottom as far as how much he challenges.
My mind is stuck on Tom Thibodeau because he doesn't believe in technology.
No, he's above the line.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it Spoelstra?
It is Spoelstra.
Interesting.
Yep.
I wonder what that says about that. I mean, maybe that's just hey, we play through it. Doesn't matter.
That's exactly what it says.
Probably playing through it, and he probably also is somebody who does what I would probably like Mike Brown to do, and that's pocket it until it's much rather to. It's not really like a timeout. They always say what's the point in having a timeout, ending the game, and having 3 timeouts stocked? You have timeouts, call them. I would much rather go into that last 2 minutes with the challenge in my pocket, if that makes sense, knowing that if the situation arose at the right time, I had the opportunity to use it versus blowing it in the second or third quarter.
Or a foul out.
Absolutely. Like something that can actually help the result of the game is where you should keep your challenges. To me, like a tipped, out of bounds in the third quarter, who cares?
Wagging the finger.
A blocker charge for Keegan's second, who cares?
No, wag the finger.
It doesn't,
Let's
that
go.
is not changing the game, whereas you're going to feel real dumb if there is an out of bounds tip with 2 minutes you can't challenge. It's just always better to hold it and use it at a time where it can actually impact the result of the game than to just waste it and say, oh, well, I felt like it would have been good for momentum. That's not really super helpful in terms of the winning and losing of the game.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wag that finger.
The problem is the players, honestly. It's all these fools, too. There is not a single player who is innocent in the finger waving.
Not
Everybody instantly looks at, don't cut that, Simone. I saw your face. I'm so glad Valad didn't hear that. We're just gonna keep it pushing. We're just gonna keep pushing.
There needs to be a prop on finger wagging or finger circling during games. Over under.
I would say Draymond probably leads the league if I had to guess.
Draymond.
Well, he's not playing enough.
Yeah, there's Draymond. As far as the Kings are concerned,
I hear Keon complains a lot.
Yeah, Keon, because he's trying to defend and do his thing. I feel like
Malik
sure was a big let's get that finger in the air.
Yeah. De'Aaron's actually pretty good at it, I will say. He doesn't, of course, Sabonis is play through.
It's Sabonis. No, Sabonis does a lot of looking at the bench. Hey,
really?
Do we want to?
I'll have to be on the lookout.
Yeah,
for
Sabonis definitely does, and he never gets acknowledged.
He's gonna get hit every time. So he could that could just be his celebration as he runs down the floor.
Check that. Check that. That's what
that'd actually be a sick celebration.
If you hit a 3 and right in front of the bench,
run that back.
Hey, check that.
Yeah.
Check that one time. Well, hopefully there is some celebrating after tonight's game against the Pelicans. And Chris, when you talk about keys to the game, I think that the number one thing is Sabonis has to return to form. That has to happen.
Yeah, we need a double-double. Yeah, Sabonis needs to kill that Valanciunas matchup. He's one of the Kings' 2 All-NBA player or 2 All-Stars. He's got to play at that level. He's got to be great, and it's going to be on. It really obviously is on everybody, but you need to have a near 20-point at least performance from Sabonis tonight. You need to make sure Jonas Valanciunas doesn't get going at all, and he's going to be a big part of trying to stop Zion at the rim. I know Sabonis has really loved his verticalities this year. He's been great at it, but Zion is a guy that you have to figure out how to. Because Sabonis is really the only guy who could probably match him strength for strength, literally body for body. Besides that, everybody's getting pinballed off Zion. So it's going to be big on Sabonis to challenge at the rim without fouling.
You have Sabonis averaging 15.5 points his last 10 games.
Okay, that's not great.
7.9 assists and 14 rebounds the last 10 games.
Slacking 14. Jeez,
yeah,
come on,
against
pick it up.
This is crazy. They've played the Pelicans a lot of times when you look up the stats, I don't really pay attention to the matchups.
Yeah.
But they've played the Pelicans so many times. This is a legit thing here. So this should make you feel a little bit better, Chris. In 4 games against the Pelicans, Sabonis has averaged 19 points, 7.5 assists. But I think this is because of Valanciunas, only 10.5 rebounds.
Ooh, that is really interesting. And, Valanciunas is really the picture-perfect center that you would draw up for those guys that we talk about that give Sabonis problems.
But he is averaging 19.
He is? Okay, well, that's good. That's great. I mean, that's because they need that. They're going to need his scoring tonight. But, Valanciunas is a huge dude who isn't a leaper, so he's going to stand his ground. And we've seen that a lot of the times that's where Sabonis struggles. I think Domas has the clear speed advantage over a guy like Valanciunas, but he's an absolute bully. So you're not going to – this is not a Nurkic situation. You're not going to be able to throw him around in the same way. Valanciunas will definitely be a force down there. I think Sabonis should still have the advantage, but that is no joke of a matchup right there, and it's gonna be big on them to not let it frustrate him. I mean, Chet really got to him and threw off his entire game. The fact that Sabonis didn't get a double-double is incredible against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You would think that's one of the easiest opponents for him to get it done. So got to shake that off and really need a big performance tonight. I'm looking at Zion's numbers too against the Kings. 20 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. Nothing too crazy. It's felt a lot worse than that. I guess it's the 67% from the field. But
from the field,
67%.
But they're all layups.
They are, which is why I believe that's also
what's Zion's
his highest percentage against any
What's
opponent.
Zion shoot from the free throw line? It can't
not
be good.
well. No, he shoots.
Hack him.
He shoots 70%, 70.1% this season. It's 69% for his career.
Or a Sacramento King.
Yeah, foul that dude. I mean, seriously,
Come on, Pelican.
Would you not rather just foul Zion and make him hit free throws than watch him take left-handed layups all day?
We haven't seen him in a bit, but I'm thinking if you got to waste fouls here because we know who can't foul. Kessler Edwards, come on down.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's the only thing is you have to think of someone to pick up those fouls.
Yeah.
Like Kessler's perfect.
Duarte, he is still on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, Alex Len even, you don't have many, he's going to get blown by, but be physical with him. I think it's just however you can tire out Zion, man. The word is out, but he is definitely in really good shape right now. And, it's gonna be tough to stay in front of him and deal with the physicality, but you've gotta make it tough, man, because he is not somebody who's used to playing this deep in the season and definitely not used to having this much of a workload on his shoulders. So I think the Kings' key for tonight is just make Zion exhausted. I want that boy sweating like he's at a buffet.
That's crazy.
Come on.
From a mid-rock on the sack chat, Duarte on Zion, LOL. No, not on. I'm just saying, if he's in the vicinity,
just as a body,
just hack him. Yeah. Just do whatever you can so it's not a lefty layup line like Alan Stiles back in CYO.
Just think of Scott Pollard on Shaq. It's just he's just out. There's no illusion he's going to stop him.
Right.
He's just literally there to be in front of him and grab him.
Continuing the conversation, who needs to step up? Also, where could Bronny go? There are some projections that might surprise you or might not. TC, we see you. We'll get you when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Instantly looks
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for all state auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Chris, you said the word is out. Well, the projections are out, and there are going to be a couple here. And surprise, surprise, Bronny drafted to the Lakers.
What?
That's what I'm seeing.
Drafted period is surprising.
Yeah, that is crazy. And
please
you know
tell
what?
me it's at least second round.
This is from FanDuel Sportsbook. They have the best odds, so it's not a projection.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not a mock draft. It's just the
Interesting.
odds.
And
Lakers
it's specifically drafting Bronny?
According to overtime.
Wow. Okay. No, I'm not saying. I wonder if it
teams to select. Now, what does select
I'm just trying. Yeah,
that's a good
trying
point.
to get ahead of it.
What team will he go to?
Yeah.
Some of these comparisons are crazy, and I know people used to get on Michael Jordan's kids because I think they played D1, but didn't really do too much after that. But it just
one of them did.
Well, okay. There's a lot to be said about genes are genes. But some dudes are just aliens. And I don't know what's going to happen with Bryce James, LeBron's younger son. But
Bryce Maximus.
There you go. But you have Bronny, who's being compared to, I've seen Norris Cole. Best guy we've seen.
What?
I know. I know.
What is that called?
I don't know how. Basically, just say he shouldn't be in the league. I don't know.
Hey, this guy's pro comp is Kessler Edwards. Like, okay.
But on the higher end, I told you during the break that another comp I saw when I was reading was Quentin Grimes.
Yeah, sure.
And we both agreed that felt too good. But Quentin Grimes isn't very good.
No.
So what are we talking about?
I don't know. And also, like, those pro comps are usually always like it's like Evan Mobley's pro comp, Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan.
Right.
So it's like if you're already projecting higher than what they're probably going to be, what is that saying?
What does that say?
If you're if your exaggeration of Bronny is Quentin Grimes, then it's like, okay, so is he like a G League Quentin Grimes?
Right.
Like,
I don't know. We don't even know who Quentin Grimes' comp is. So what are we talking about? Yeah, I'm excited just for the, I love drama.
I just want to get an answer.
Yeah, you know I love drama, so I am excited about that. Also excited about tonight and who needs to step up. Real quick, Chris, on the Sac Chat, Amid Rock, he asked, he didn't ask a question, but when we were talking about the challenges and how obviously Mike Brown didn't have one in that Thunder game, I believe there was an unsuccessful one at one point. The travel call on SGA, is that something you can
non-call?
The non-call.
Yes, gotcha.
Is that something you can challenge or no? Because can you call a timeout and say, hey, I don't know that you can challenge that?
I think you could. I think you could challenge. Yeah. I think you could. I think the problem is you can't challenge under 2 minutes. And so that would have to be a referee in official review. And I don't think they can look at something if something isn't called, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was a no call. So Mike Brown can't say, hey, go.
Well, he couldn't do it because it was under 2 minutes.
Right.
If it were over 2 minutes, Mike Brown can do it on anything. If it's under 2 minutes, then it has to just be a referee decision, and they can't challenge something or look at something that didn't have a call, if that makes sense. There would have to be a travel called, and then they can look at that to see if it was a travel. But since nothing was actually called, there's nothing to look at.
So if they had called the travel
or an offensive foul, either one.
If they have called a travel, who makes the decision? Would it just be Dagnall in their ear? Hey, that's not a travel, and then they say, "Fine, we'll review it."
I think
because sometimes they just don't review. Sometimes they just don't
from the league office.
Okay,
yeah. I believe that's how it's done.
Right. 916-339-1140. Let's go to TC. How he's feeling about tonight's game? What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Hey, Alan Watkins, man, what's going on?
Man, Friday Eve, just trying to make it. What you got?
He said Friday Eve, man. It's almost the weekend. The weekend starts tonight. Let's do it.
Let's do it underneath the beam.
For sure. Hey, look, take it one game at a time. I got the Kings going undefeated, man, the rest of the season. And we just don't, let the chips fall how they fall. If we got to get in 7-8, we got to get in 7-8. If we fall to 9-10, we got to get in how we got to get in, bro. We can't duck the smoke. If we're going to make this playoff run special, bro, we got to do it. As far as Domas, bro, I don't see why Domas is always struggling with this guy, Valanciunas, and this is a dude that you play on the Lithuanian team, on the overseas ball, bro. So this is like one of the closest dudes you know. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why you can't beat this guy. But on the flip side, Allen, I get it. If you always with your homeboy, y'all always hooping together, y'all always gonna know those little tweaks that's gonna get you. Like, you know me, I know you, but I know how to get you, and I know what you don't like. So I get it, but at the same time, bro, you should be able to get this dude, bro, because you always around him. The team, as a team effort, we need to ball out, bro. I don't want to see 73s tonight, bro. I don't care if we coming out blazing. I don't want to see 17 from Fox. Fox, you shouldn't be taking no more than 7 threes a game. I don't give a damn how good you shot your three-pointer, how good is better. Bro, 7 is the max. Domas, if they leave you open, shoot the ball, bro. Mike, don't play with the rotations. Play the hot hands, big dog. That's all I got.
Thanks for the call, TC. I'm ready to suit up right now.
No, I'm ready.
I'm trying to suit up.
Come on.
I went to physical therapy today.
I know,
go.
You're primed and ready, man.
I am ready to go. I want to bring this back around to the texter at the beginning of the show from the 530. And it's not dog segment yet. But Harrison Barnes, if there was ever a time, we choose you, Pikachu.
Man.
We choose you, Harrison. We don't ask for much. Can you give me 15? Give me 15
Please.
Timely buckets.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Excuse me, points. 15. I'll take 15 timely buckets, but 15 timely points. That's all. Don't make me grab the big head again, because I'll grab the big head again. We're not searching. Where is Harrison? We will find him tonight, please, Chris.
Please. Yeah, we could use him. We could definitely use him. Not to step on the dog segment early, but definitely like HB is going to be a big key to tonight. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to put Zion on HB, and HB's just got to run, man. You got to work that dude. You cannot let him chill in the paint. You can't let him be a factor. You need to get that fool moving. Treat him like he's James Harden. And really, I mean, I think it'll do you really well in the long run. Even if, it's one of those things where you just keep chopping away, keep chopping that wood. At some point in the fourth quarter, that work is going to pay off. He might go off in the first couple quarters, whatever, let him eat, just make him work for it. And then come fourth quarter time, that's when you guys are going to step up, because Zion is a huge force for them in that fourth quarter, especially down the stretch. They just run him at the rim like a freaking bulldozer. And nobody wants to get in front of him. Like, it makes sense. And, you just got to prevent yourself being in the situation that you were in against OKC, not necessarily the 19-point loss. Definitely don't do, or the 19-point lead that you had that you lost. Not that part. You don't want to be in a close game tonight. You need to, and that's, we had the caller call in earlier and say, I want them to stop shooting threes when they're up 19. They unfortunately might do that tonight, because I think the goal is going to be to try and win big. And if they get up big, step on that foot, because here's the thing, you got another huge game tomorrow. I mean, you have to win tonight in order for tomorrow to be as big as it can be, but you've got another really big game tomorrow. So if you have an opportunity to blow this thing open, I know that opportunity has not presented itself, but at the same time, I mean, if it's there, you got to take it.
And can somebody take? I know there was a charge. They got the charge called on them, or they took a charge against the Thunder. But can you take real charges, please? Chris? Am I tripping when I watch them take a charge? They're looking a little scared when they take the charges. The Kings just stand there. They're like,
I mean, you're not going to take a charge against Zion.
No, well, you need to. How bad do you want to stay out of the 9-10?
You got to be able to play tomorrow.
Speaking of injury updates, when we return, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Keep it here to Sactown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings insiders, and all the thrilling moments from the G-Man.
King, quick catch, quick strike. There's another one up in the lights and in the well. 10 3-pointers made. Keegan Murray putting on an all-time scoring exhibition tonight.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass, Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tug Shed, New Dawn Treatment Centers, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
I love this time of year when the azaleas begin to bloom and the singing birds' sweet dawn chorus remind us that blue skies and sunshine are at hand. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. In sports, the definition for the word master is one who's achieved a high degree of skill, and that will be on display in the highly anticipated golf tournament. In the furniture business, a master is a highly skilled craftsman, an artist even, whose work is coveted by those who appreciate design, quality, and durability. John Keyes was the mastermind of Naturewood Home Furnishings. He knew that you wanted your home to reflect your personal style, whether that was a plain coffee table or a masterpiece for you to enjoy forever. That's why when you walk into Naturewood Home Furnishings, you'll find the largest and best selection of the highest quality home furnishings in Northern California. Masterful. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Who needs to step up tonight? My pick, Harrison Barnes. Chris concurs, okay? It's got to happen. It's also, I think we landed on Harrison and Sabonis. Besides and Sabonis is normally a usual suspect.
Right.
And he's gotten his points against Valanciunas, but the rebounds haven't been there. The one thing, and I feel like we're pretty hard on Keegan Murray, he's been grabbing those rebounds.
Yeah.
Keegan,
he got 10 last game?
Yeah, and okay, a day like today where Valanciunas might maybe take Sabonis out of it a bit, we're going to need that from you, Keegan. But we always need a lot from Keegan. You can always count on Steven to have some things to say. What's up, Steven? What you got for us?
Not much, boys. How you guys doing today, man?
We are surviving and thriving.
It is Friday Eve, so
That's
I
right.
mean, you can't complain about that. You know, we got the weekend already. We're looking at it. So anyway, man, ATB out on Harrison Barnes. Where are you, my guy? You need to show up tonight. You're the veteran. You know, we signed you to be the veteran on the team, to be that presence. We don't need you to be telling people to no longer jump to save your knees because we're a crappy team. We're now winning. We're now on the up and up. Where have you been?
Yeah.
We need you. We've been needing you. Plus, I saw a comp on Bronny James. Not to get too much into the weeds here, but I saw a comp on Bronny James where Davion Mitchell was thrown as a comp for him, and I'm.
Is that
guys, Davion Mitchell? Davion, not Donovan. Davion Mitchell. I'm baffled, boys. I'm baffled. Harrison Barnes, show up, baby. Let's go.
Thanks for the call, Steven.
I got to look that up.
But that makes sense. It's just smaller guards.
But is Bronny that small?
Bronny's 6'2".
I have no idea.
I think they have him at 6'3", maybe 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
But that's just telling me he's not ready. All this is telling me is that he's
not ready. No.
And I guess he's going to continue to develop. As far as Harrison Barnes is concerned, I mean, we know we're not asking. You got 3 more games, Harrison. Could be your last 3 games as a Sacramento King. We have no clue. We just don't have any clue about anybody going into the offseason. How do you want to be remembered, Harrison?
Right.
How do you want to be remembered? Chris, not that we want to talk playing, and after tonight we might have to.
Yeah, might have to learn how to speak playing.
916 is already in that mindset. The worst play-in scenario in terms of matchups for the Kings is blank, and they want us to fill in the blank.
The worst?
Well, besides being 9-10, obviously that's the worst. But if you want to go just worse, would be 10.
Right, of course.
10, and it's just basically it's about who.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of already know who would be, right? Like it's more than likely. I mean, if the Kings lose tonight, it is going to be one of Phoenix, Lakers, or Golden State that the Kings will play.
Where we don't know. We don't know.
I mean,
we know.
I think my answer could be we're already living in it, buddy, because I think that's I mean, maybe you could say New Orleans, especially if the Kings lose to them for a 5th time tonight, having to play them a 6th time wouldn't be great. But having to play KD and Devin Booker with Bradley Beal, or LeBron James and Anthony Davis, or, hey, you can play the 10 seed if you'd like. That's Steph Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson. None of those are really great options, and they all definitely have their disadvantages. And I think each one has their own advantages as well. They're all pretty equally. I don't know if any of I think I feel equally about the Kings' chances in all of those, and those are all pretty good. No, I really do. I seriously do. I mean, what? Why? I can give you the reason. The Suns, the Kings have played the Suns well all year. They just choked 2 games against them. The Lakers, the Kings have killed the Lakers. They swept them this year, but they still have LeBron and AD. The Warriors, the Kings literally have played the Warriors 105 times in the past 2 years. That's a team that you're not afraid of. You know what it is. It doesn't matter if you're home or road. You know how that story goes. All of those opponents have really good reasonings for why the Kings could beat them. But, of course, the big negative is going to be the big names.
Let's assume the Pelicans get 6, okay? Because I think it's a better chance of the Pelicans getting 6 than the Suns. Would you agree?
Yes, it is, yeah.
So let's do Suns, Lakers, Warriors. And it's hard because, the whole 9-10 thing, obviously. But let's just simplify this and say one off to end your season. Who do you not want to see home? Let's just do it at home to make it easier. Chris, you know what I'm going to say. You know. Don't make me say it.
What, Golden State?
I don't want to see them.
Why not?
I don't. Maybe it's a personal thing for me because, I got to deal with people talking trash and things like that. But even just on the basketball court, Golden State, I feel like the Lakers would have to talk themselves. I feel like the Lakers and Laker fans would have to talk themselves into, we'll finally get the Kings this time. No Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter, but you have not beaten the Kings. So you got that over them. The Suns they snuck away with the game. The Suns are just a mess, and you never know what you're going to get, but you never know what you're going to get. And I feel like and you haven't been very high on the Suns either throughout the season, but the Warriors I'm going to go there with how the season ended last season. I think the Warriors would be like, this is a comfortable space for us to do what we need to do. And I don't like when dudes feel comfortable.
Sure.
They would feel the most comfortable against the Kings. And that's what I don't like.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense. I
don't like it.
I would probably say Phoenix. Like, Phoenix to me has the most talent of all of those teams. Like,
but we've been saying that all season, though.
Yeah, the Warriors are the 10 seed, so I mean, they haven't really lived up to their end of the prophecy either. So I think, I think Phoenix has factually played the best in terms of record, but I think KD's probably got the best mismatch advantage over everybody else. Like, I think LeBron has definitely dominated the Kings, but I feel like KD, the Kings just have absolutely no answer for.
No.
Devin Booker in a shootout, I don't want that. I know I just made fun of him yesterday for going 1 of 11, but that's probably not going to happen again. I can talk myself into all of these teams being real issues. It's just Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix has played the best of all of those teams, so I feel like they're the most dangerous, forgetting, that they've also they haven't lived up to expectations.
Well, and they are fully loaded right now. Last night when they played, the G League Clippers, who the Clippers actually hung around. Bones Highland. Interested in a Bones Highland?
No, I'm not. I am not. And anyone who is, no thanks. No thanks.
Kevin Durant, 24 points. This is last night. Royce O'Neal, 15 points. Devin Booker, 37.
Oof.
Bradley Beal, 26. So it's funny that we don't even talk about Bradley Beal anymore because you never know. Honestly, I got to check to see if he played or not before we speak on it. You got Grayson Allen
Cole in this situation
with 6,
for sure.
Eric Gordon with 11. I hear you, but it's just the demons. But
you don't want that Grayson Allen smoke.
No, I would take the Grayson Allen smoke instead of the Warriors smoke. They're playing well, the Warriors.
Maybe it's just the personal. I'm just not. I've seen them play that team too many times. I'm not afraid of them.
But Andrew Wiggins has figured it out. They lost Chris Paul and GP2 in that play-in game.
Yep.
Okay. There's no right answer.
I mean,
that's why we don't want to be in the play-in.
Exactly. I don't think that there's any good answer. Like I said, I mean, I feel about 55% on all of those games. I think the Kings have the advantage. I think they have it in them to win those games. But at the same time, again, all of those teams have things working in their favor that it wouldn't be crazy at all. Not least to mention the fact that all of those are significantly better for the NBA itself to have in the playoffs than the Kings. I mean, that's honestly the last thing that I'm thinking about, but it still is a very major part of it all. So this is the plan. Like you said, I mean, there's no good situations to lay out in the plan. It's all screwed. It's all wacky. And, I think and I'm not saying this just because the Kings are in it. I hate the plan. I really don't like it. I think, and I heard, this kind of stemmed from this morning. Sam Amick was on with the guys, and he kind of said, like, it's the Athletic always releases a player survey, which is excellent. And I think he said it's coming out next week, where they ask players and anonymously they give their answers. And there was mixed reviews on how guys felt about the plan. I think I more so on the side of 8 make it. If you're short of that 8, too bad, good season. That's just how it works. Because frankly, like this mix, like I don't feel like if the Kings end up being the 9 seed, it feels weird that they still have a shot of making, like, it's great. I mean, it's obviously awesome for fan interest and keeping you engaged, but ultimately, like, would you say that the Kings have deserved a playoff spot if they end up falling to the 9?
No, it's just weird. And Adam Silver, I mean, I think Adam Silver does a pretty good job in general, but it is funny. I mean, you're doing two different things as we discussed, right? You're adding the in-season tournament because you know that there's an issue with the urgency of the regular season. Then you add a play-in, which, it gives you some cool matchups, but then you add a play-in, which lessens the urgency of the regular season. Right?
Actually, that's a great point.
So what is it actually that you're trying to accomplish? Will, we know what he's usually trying to accomplish. We talked to Will when we return. Also, injury updates and playoff player tiers from the Athletics. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf.com's Alan Bastable offers 8 sneaky ways for stubbornly average players to break 80. First, play sensible tees. Hitting 7 and 8 irons into greens instead of hybrids give chances at 4s and 3s. Check the par. There's no shame in doing so on a par 70 course. 3, check the forecast. A day after rain can mean soft greens. 4, avoid big numbers. It's not the bogeys that will derail a 79. It's a couple of bigger scores. 5, you got to believe. Give yourself a pep talk and temper the feelings of gloom. 6, keep like-minded company. If you're a grinder, play with fellow grinders, or play with music, or gamble if that's your game. 7, a little luck helps. Even tour players recognize luck. 8, don't obsess over, breaking 80. You're going to know if you have a good round going, so have your partner keep score. At the 18th tee, ask where you stand, as it may affect the way you approach the hole. Sounds simple, huh? Now go out and do it, and have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. Ends 4/30/24.
and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Tonight. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
That's a big help.
You just take anything, Chris. Yes. At this point, you're just honestly taking anything against a team that has just truly had the Kings number. And I was surprised that there was no Sasha last game, especially when they went ice cold. I feel like you'll see Sasha today.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, especially like the more and more I think about it, the fact that the team that OKC was packing the paint and you don't really throw Sasha out there. I mean, if you're going to get open looks from the perimeter, we've talked about it before. The Kings, before they had that free throw list, which by the way, we haven't seen or heard anything about that free throw chart
they shot better
since they put it up. But before that was up, they used to have the results of their shooting drill up there, and Sasha Vezenkov was number 1 in their shooting drill. And I think they even said that Sasha had broken team records in that shooting drill. So it would make sense to me that if you're getting open looks and you're just not getting anything from the perimeter, you should probably throw your best perimeter option out there. And for what it's worth, I think Keon Ellis actually finished second in all of those shooting drills. So definitely want to see more of what we saw from Keon last game. If you have the ability to hit 8 threes in a game, to me, that doesn't just happen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great point. Because I don't know if maybe you just relate defense to being a non-shooter, and maybe it's because of having somebody like a Davion, you just kind of throw them all, scrappy defending point guards that we're hoping that they shoot
34, 35%.
Yes,
but you're hoping
to be clear, in the G League and Keon Ellis is a shooter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Is a shooter, is a shooter, is a shooter. Yeah.
Yes. He is a true 3-and-D guy. He might not dice you in the lane like Davion can, but he can shoot the 3 ball. So we should not expect 8 threes. And he didn't. When he banked in that 3, I thought, if they don't win this game, man, because you cannot waste situations like this. And that's exactly what happened.
That sure is exactly.
You have Keon Ellis as a shooter. 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Let's get out to Will, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Will? What you got for us?
What's up, man? Look, I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. And, you guys don't disrespect the fans, because we all know the game. We all know the game. Look, you guys spend a lot of time, and then Coach Brown spent a lot of time talking about offense, spray the ball, and all that kind of BS. The Kings don't play no D, man. That's the bottom line. You up 20 points, you got to defend the basketball. I mean, and then tonight, how many games have we had 20-point leads and lost? It's just in the line. You guys are saying, we got to win. We got to win. We got to win tonight. We should have won the last game. How many times have we said that?
Yeah, a lot.
And then, let me tell you something, man. Zion might get 50 tonight, man. Look, HB is done. I told you guys that last year when PJ Washington was available, Christian Woods was available, and the GM didn't make a move. And we still got HB. I mean, we like him as a human being. We love him. He's a good guy, but he can't stop anybody. He can't stop any small forward or any power forward with athleticism in the league. So we hope he scores some points to kind of cancel Zion out. But he ain't gonna be able to stop Zion. He gonna get dunked on so many times. Man, Zion dunks on everybody. He dunks on everybody. Ain't no way that HB gonna be able to stay with him. I just wanted to say that. Hope we win. I'm praying we win, but I don't know, man.
Thanks for the call.
That really sums it up.
Is that basically Sacramento?
That really sums it up right there. I hope we win. I just don't think it's gonna. I just don't know if it's gonna actually happen.
I'm not too sure about that one. I mean, yeah. Well, that's why I'm thinking you just can't have. I'm just trying to figure out. And as a lefty that really didn't have much of a right hand, I think the idea of quote unquote making somebody go right is much easier to say in theory than it is in practice.
Absolutely.
Because you know how to find a way to get back to your left. And you combine that with Zion's power.
Yeah.
It's not even an HB. He does it to everybody, to Will's point. We're all, and I'm going to sit there, Chris, sitting next to you, and it's going to happen. I'm going to say, make him go right, even though I'm saying this on the air, understanding it is much harder than just, you know, in pickup, right? When the guy, hey, he's left-handed. And then the defender shifts and drops his back left leg so that now you have to go to the right side.
That's me.
And it never works.
Oh, you're just not doing it right.
Okay. Well, try doing it against Zion. That's what I'm saying. Oh, well, we can take it to the court right now.
Right now? I'll take
right now, maybe. I got the PT. I'll get back to my left.
Allen, for sure.
There has to be a way. And the other thing we talked about was, hey, drop back. Zion doesn't have much of a jump shot since his debut, when he made 4 threes, which was hilarious, by the way. If you drop back, he's just going to see red like a bull, and that if you're not ready to take a charge.
Right.
And Zion, let's give him credit. He is able to manipulate his body.
Yeah, he's a crafty finisher.
Not going to just bulldoze into you and you're going to take a charge. You can say, all right, I'm going to go back, and if he comes this way, he'll find ways around you. So it's not that simple, but you got to find a way to do something. And I just read off the box score, albeit against the Blazers. Zion in the low mid 20s, and then you have CJ McCollum get into the 30s. That's where I'm thinking, okay, if I'm not mistaken, maybe one of the times, I don't know how much CJ saw Keon, right? So if Keon can eliminate CJ and
CJ's been a problem.
Yeah, keep him cool because you passed on him. Yeah, keep him cool. Then it's just all Zion, and I know that actually the leading scorer was Trey Murphy. So if that happens again, you just tip your cap.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, right? Like, if you stop Zion or slow down Zion and CJ and they still find out how to win, then it's really just like, man, you know what? I hate this team. There's nothing we could do. Let's just never play them again. They own you at that point. And, that still very much can happen. I think they just showed it where we got ESPN on NBA TV here, or NBA Today on in the background, and they were just doing the breakdown on Zion. Second most points in the paint in the entire NBA, behind only Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like you said, I mean, it's a lot easier said than done. Everyone knows what Zion's trying to do. Everyone knows what Giannis is trying to do. It's a whole nother task to actually step in front and try and stop him, because you just don't understand how fast he is, how big he is, how strong he is until he's right in front of you. And then you realize, wait, how is this dude who's so big, so fast, so strong able to leap at the, and reach the points in which he's able to reach? It's what made him so spectacular in college and as a prospect. And, you're starting to see it. And I think the big thing too, you mentioned him around the rim. He's not like Sabonis. Like you mentioned his ability to kind of navigate his body. He's got some touch, as we were talking about. Is touch something that can be taught or learned, or is it something you just have? Zion just has it, even though he's got the ability to run 100 miles per hour right at the rim and, be turned around and 12 feet in the air. He still manages to have a really feathery, soft touch. And that's what makes him so dangerous, is even if you stop him from getting all the way to the rim, he's got a nice little floater game, or he's already so high up that he can just drop it right in there. He's almost an impossible guy to guard. I don't know, who would even be, let's try and draw up the perfect person to guard Zion. I don't even know what it would look like. Because you would probably, in his prime. That's exactly, you would probably have to size up, right? Like you would have to say, yeah, like a LeBron, really, a Morris twin or something, because you can't be afraid of the physicality either. And that's another thing that's advantage Zion is, we talk about how soft this team is, and Sabonis definitely isn't soft at all, but Zion's going to take it right to you every time. And if Keegan's guarding Zion, somebody better be running right over, because he's going to get run over.
Yeah, it can't be. I honestly think we might see Kessler today. And just because of bodies. Yep. I'm not saying Kessler's the Zion stopper. No. I just think you're going to throw as many bodies as you can at Zion. all night long. When we return, The Athletic has playoff player tiers. Where do the Kings players fall? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No team has owned the Kings more than the New Orleans Pelicans. Thursday at 7. The Kings look for their first win of the season against New Orleans.
It's grabbed by Davion. Bullet pass to the corner. Keegan for three. Score the triple. What a super assist from Davion Mitchell. Keegan Murray now has 14.
It's game 80. The Kings and Pelicans. Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned. Our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what is happening for Dodge's last call sales event?
We're celebrating 75 years in business by offering 75 new Dodge Chargers and Challengers at enormous discounted prices to say thank you. Right now, get your hands on the last of the gas-powered 2023 Dodge Charger and Challenger GTs and SXTs and save up to $13,000 off MSRP. But you better hurry in because you only have until April 13th.
How about the Scat Packs? Any deals on those?
Yep, we've got some of the biggest savings savings I've ever seen. But like I said, you better hurry in because these are the very last of the gas-powered Chargers and Challengers. And you only have until April 13th to cash in on this anniversary savings.
You better get moving to Hoblet Dodge in Woodland or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
13,000 total net savings on Dodge Charger Challenger SXT after 8420 factory rebates and 4,600 dealer discounts. May include 500 first responder cash. Must be current member of eligible First Responder Association. 10th this net savings. See dealer for details.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
I'm Simone with your live leaderboard standings for the first round of the 88th Masters Tournament. The man with the math plan, Bryson DeChambeau, 7 under and through 17, and Tiger Woods on the prowl and ready to tee off momentarily from beautiful Augusta, Georgia. Keep it locked to Sactown Sports for continued tournament coverage. Your Masters leaderboard standings are, of course, provided by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Let's get you back into the last hour of Stiles and Watkins.
And one of my picks is looking good, but I'm not going to say anything yet. You know who it is, but I'm not going to say anything on the air yet. You know, I showed you an AI created Wembanyama shoe
Is that
prototype.
what that was? It was for Wemby? Oh,
yes,
okay.
and I have something to say, or I guess I have a question, and this is for all the hoopers or retired hoopers out there. Because maybe I just made this up on my own, but I was always the type of person that when it came to purchasing a hoop shoe, I had to I felt better purchasing a hoop shoe for a player that I felt like, not to say similar to, but I would like to buy guard shoes.
Okay.
Like it felt weird to me. Like I would never buy a Wembanyama shoe. I purchased
I'm trying to figure out who was your guys.
Well,
probably like the answers.
Yes, but like as an adult, you don't care as much.
Sure.
And I bought the KDs at one point because they were at the outlet.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm wearing the Stephs because I had the Stephs, like the PGs. But I'm saying I can't buy a big dude shoe. It feels weird to me.
That's one of the strangest things I think I've ever heard in my life. I don't think anyone has ever. I could be wrong. I could be so wrong, and we're about to get flooded with texts.
Yeah.
I have never even remotely
Do you like to
considered
purchase
that.
a basketball shoe? And this could be beyond basketball.
Yeah, right.
And you go beyond basketball, and it could be just guys that you like more
Sure.
than others. But whether it's golf or baseball, football, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Does it feel, okay, I'm a guard, so I'm wearing, and I'll tell you what, I went to the outlet.
Yeah.
I bought a pair of LeBrons. What did I tear my Achilles in? A pair of LeBrons.
But what about the KDs?
The KDs, he's got guard tendencies.
There you go. He plays like a guard.
He plays like a guard. I'm just saying.
I mean, I will say the logic there is not terrible. Like, it's like, hey, this is probably designed with someone of who's going to be doing the things that
Kyries, right?
This fool cuts a lot. I cut a lot.
lot.
Like it makes sense.
That's right.
It definitely makes some sense. I just never personally, even remotely, for a second,
I'm
crossed
not
into my
gonna
mind.
like. What do I look like?
Yeah.
Would they? I don't even think they should make the Wembies in my shoe size.
They probably shouldn't.
Don't even.
That would
if
actually
they
be
are-
a really interesting.
Well, and
twist
if they
on
do,
it.
it's for some 10th grader who's already my size, or honestly, some 4th grader. I'm not wearing.
Yeah.
If somebody gave me a pair of Wembies, I wouldn't wear them.
I mean, not these ones that I've seen here. These are terrible.
AIs.
These are so
I'm just
bad.
saying. The other. Oh, here's Giannis.
You can wear some Foxes.
I'm
though.
not. I can wear some. I will wear.
Yeah.
I will get some De'Aaron Foxes. Giannis.
Yeah, the
sorry.
Freaks. I honestly don't like the Freaks either that much.
The backwards Nike sign. Sorry, can't do it.
So you would rock like some Starberries or something like that?
Of course I would.
Yeah.
But the Shaquille, what?
Yeah.
Can you
The
imagine
Payless
me wearing some Shaquille O'Neals? I'll get clowned. Absolutely clowned. Definitely. Speaking of a couple days, I think it's the anniversary of Kobe's last game.
Ooh.
And there are 3 pairs of shoes being released. And I continue to ask people on the airways, who is the sneaker connect? Who can hook me up, okay, with some sneakers? Hopefully I don't catch these L's on the sneaker app, but I probably will. Who can hook me up as we continue the conversation from the 916? Our guy that we met at Fieldhouse on Monday, hey, Johnny K. One thing I would like to know is Coach Brown, does he coach by the numbers on paper or by his emotions or a combination of both? Does he lean heavier one way or the other? To me, in these losses, it seems like he has been coaching too much by the numbers and not about what has been dictated in the game. Somebody else said that on social media, and they said, now I'm getting flashbacks of Gabe Kapler and the Giants. Somebody said Mike Brown is leaning too much into analytics.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a direct initiative from the front office to kind of, again, like we talked about yesterday, like threes are worth more than 2. And when you don't have 2 massive scorers like Malik and Kevin Huerter, a good way of making up that point differential is by hitting a ton of threes. They did it the other day against OKC. They had a 27-point advantage just in the 3-point department. That got neutralized by OKC's free throws, but the thought process is still sound. And I think they definitely are coaching more so on numbers than feel right now because, I mean, we all have eyes.
Really interesting.
We all have eyes. We all saw 50 whatever shots was just way too many. You just can't have that many. So, and, you know, De'Aaron too, like De'Aaron, I guess maybe the counter is I have a tough time believing that the numbers would say that De'Aaron should take 17 threes, but even then he knocked him down at 41%. So, you know, that's definitely making it feel like, or it might not even feel like, it might just be that it truly is mainly about the analytics here, not so much about the Jimmies and Joes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is.
Which doesn't, I mean, you know, I don't think any fan is, you can probably more speak to how people react to this in baseball, but after that Gabe Kapler situation,
absolutely
I think we all know that it's just that no fan, you can, you know, on one hand, it led to the Giants winning 107 games one season. But at the same time, when it's not working like it did that one year, it leads to a ton of frustration, and it doesn't, not a lot of logic goes into those decisions. It's all just, hey, this is how it is because this is what it says, and no ifs, ands, or buts. And that's just, that doesn't leave a gray area, which we all know is where we all pretty much live in.
The only reason I will, I guess, in a way, give Coach Mike Brown a pass is based on when the injuries happened and where they're at in the season. I don't really know how much you can switch things up. So I don't know if it's an obsession. Okay, let's play the game. Yeah, let's go based on feeling more than numbers.
Yeah.
What changes? You don't have guys that they're not shooting three. They're not. It's not as if Coach is saying, now he will talk about getting too deep into the defense, but it's not as if Davion drives to the hole and he's saying, stop doing that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? These guys are choosing to shoot threes because that's what they're the most comfortable doing.
Yeah.
So, and that's what they've been taught to do for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think they're probably leaning into the numbers, but we're so far gone with 3 games left in the season.
Yeah.
I think it's less about the numbers and more about this is what we have.
That too. Right. I mean, you know, you can maybe argue, and you know, people, if we're going to ask for Sasha to be inserted, that's taking more threes.
Yeah. What's he about to do?
Exactly. So I don't know. You know, I think that's definitely a point towards what you're talking about is, you know, I think it's just kind of is the personnel that they have out there. And if they were to throw other guys in there, if we are doing what I guess you would say is the vibes thing to do, I think that the people that they're going to put in are going to do much of the same. If Kessler Edwards comes in, he's not going to be Euro stepping at the rim.
And
he's going to be taking threes.
And he's put in Kessler before.
Yeah.
And he's taking threes.
And Chris Duarte is going to come in and he's going to shoot threes. And Sasha Vezenkov is going to come in and what's going to happen? He's going to shoot threes. So, who's not going to shoot threes? JaVale McGee. But that's
he can.
So there we go.
If
that's what you want, that's really and that's the Kings bench. Like, you can play Colby Jones more. Colby, I definitely think, like I said earlier, I think he makes sense to maybe, add to the pick and roll game. But at this point, he's a rookie who's played a full season.
He tried that floater.
And
I think it grazed the rim.
I really like his finishing ability. I think that's where he's going to really make his mark next season, but he doesn't have the time. I mean, I know they just came from practice about an hour ago, but he hasn't had a lot of practice time to get comfortable with these guys. Maybe we see it more today because, let's not forget Mike Brown likes to practice these guys a lot, but they have not had a lot of opportunity to practice here recently. They've had 2 days off or a day in between these two games. Maybe tonight looks a little bit different because the Kings were afforded the opportunity to actually get on the court and work some things out. So I'd be surprised if it looks exactly how it looked the other day against Oklahoma City. I can't imagine that 58 threes is going to be touched ever again.
It better not be, or our phone lines.
It's going to be on fire.
Yeah, on fire. And then
so.
You'd probably have Mike Brown say, I think we passed up some shots tonight.
Too many shots.
If you really look at the tape, I think we passed up.
There will not be shots passed up if the Kings continue to not pass up shots. If you know what I'm saying.
Right.
The fans will not be passing up shots.
No,
okay?
not at all. Look, I'm looking at De'Aaron Fox. I'm looking at Sabonis.
It's on the big dogs.
It's on the big dogs.
Yeah.
Are you counting Keegan as a big dog?
With this roster, you have to. I mean, with this collection of guys, he's got no choice but to be a big dog. I mean, they're asking him to step up. He didn't, you look at the production of the other day, 15 and 10. That's not really where you want him to be, but at the same time, took 10 threes. I think he took 15 shots or 16 shots. That is where you want him to be ideally, just a little bit more efficient and a little bit more productive and a little bit more impactful. It just didn't really feel like I can't really remember a single Keegan Murray moment from that Oklahoma City game.
Well, hopefully he taps into that huge performance he had. What was it, 47 points a while back? That would be nice to see. Just somebody besides the two.
De'Aaron usually kills the ball.
And that's the thing. It's Keon doing his thing.
Yep.
Keon and Davion, and it's just the one other guy because they combine to basically take care of what you're missing from Malik.
Sure.
You still need that other person, right? Because we had these conversations with Malik. You need somebody from the starting lineup. We were talking about this when Kevin Huerter was playing.
Yep.
Keegan, Harrison, and I know Keon's been helping, but you lost Malik, so you need one more person, Keegan or Harrison.
Yep.
We need you tonight, big fellas. We need you tonight. Interesting conversation when we return. Bob Myers is kind of breaking down what it is GMs actually do, and we bring it all back to Monty McNair and what is going to have to be done in the summer. Also, another team looking to relocate, and this isn't baseball and has nothing to do with Sacramento. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the network made for streaming. Well, in the same week, the A's announced that beginning next year they'll be playing at Sutter Health Park until the move to Las Vegas. Paul Blackburn did some very impressive things on the mound. When he blanked the Tigers for 6 innings in Detroit, it gave him 13 consecutive scoreless frames to begin the season, the 4th best total in Oakland history, the record being set by Matt Keogh with 16 back in 1980.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Chris, and that's the thing when we have these conversations about teams relocating and some people maybe not having as much grace for those in Oakland, because this stuff does happen a lot. And there's been an issue with the Arizona Coyotes. I have a buddy from Arizona, and he's obviously upset about this. And this is from Emily Kaplan and Greg Wisniewski on ESPN.com. The NHL is preparing a contingency that could relocate the Arizona Coyotes to Utah as soon as next season, sources told ESPN. Even though the NHL remains convinced a franchise should be in Arizona, the league is skeptical about the Coyotes' newest plan to build an arena in Phoenix, which involved Coyotes owner Alex Marulov's bid to win a land auction in June. This stuff just never ends.
Yeah, I mean, stadiums are always going to need renovating, and it's a constant cycle. And I'm actually super confused as to why do the Coyotes need their own arena? Why don't they just play at Club Phoenix?
Maybe they don't want to. Here you go. The NHL has prepared a backup option that would sell the team to Ryan and Ashley Smith, owners of the Utah Jazz, in relocation move to Salt Lake City. Multiple sources have said Salt Lake trying to come up these days.
Yeah, they're like every and anybody. Yeah. We will take you. I don't care what sport. We'll do badminton. We'll do pickleball.
Ultimate frisbee.
Mm-hmm. They don't care. They'll take whatever they can get. And it seems like it is as simple as whoever's got the pockets to do it. They'll take it. And when the A's were considering choosing Salt Lake City, they were ready to roll out the red carpet, man. They were like, hey, we already have a state-of-the-art minor league stadium. We're willing to build it out. We're definitely willing to do what it takes. And, sometimes that is how owners should operate, though, is, hey, I have the money to make this work. I will finance it all. Let's just do it. And, this is kind of tying into what we were talking about earlier about public financing and all that stuff. At the very least, it seems like the Smith family is willing to put all of their money out front.
That's what it seems like. Yeah. So if you're a Coyotes fan, I don't know what you do. At least in Arizona, you still got the Cardinals.
Sure. Yep.
Right. You still got some other teams. Yeah. You still got the Suns. Not that it makes you feel better. Too. I know hardcore NHL fans out there probably are annoyed about it. And there's always going to be something like this.
Is your buddy like an actual fan of the
he's just an Arizona guy.
I'm just curious how much they draw out there. Like, obviously hockey in Arizona.
How does the ice stay frozen?
You gotta stop.
Pretty much my question, because the people there are not playing hockey, so I don't know where the interest level it could definitely be. I mean, San Jose Sharks,
Salt Lake would make perfectly a little bit fine, but more sense.
Yeah,
a lot more sense.
But
Florida's got.
They said it there first. Florida has multiple teams, I think. They say they want to keep the league in Arizona, but I was just actually curious what the public interest is.
No clue.
Yeah,
no clue. But I can't imagine. I would imagine it's Cardinals, Suns,
right?
A bunch of golf
probably
that fills basically spaces 3 through 6.
Honestly, probably like the colleges too, right? Like U of A, ASU.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. Bob Myers knows what it takes to keep an organization successful, and he was talking about what a GM actually does. And I've been very hard on Bob Myers just because, he's had some good breaks, right? But he does know what he's doing, and he is opening up, I guess, the conversation of what a GM actually does. Here is Bob Myers talking about it.
It's called fantasy basketball.
Give me a percentage
You
here.
can do it on your computer at home.
Is that half the job? Is that a quarter of the job?
That's the assistant GM's job. Well, the hard decisions, the best thing we did when I was there was we kept it together. And they're still keeping it together because how hard that is. You can have a year or two, and you had really good teams you were on.
So that's him basically breaking down what everybody thinks it's about, right? And, you're out there, you're scouting, you're doing things like that. But it ain't really in the weeds.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's why every time the Kings make any transaction, whether it be a signing or they trade for somebody, you're always going to hear shout out Monty and Wes. Wes Wilcox is the Kings assistant GM, very, very highly regarded out there in the NBA space and in NBA circles. He spent some time with the Atlanta Hawks previously, building out there. Everyone remembers when they had those 5 players of the month or whatever it was with Jeff Teague and Al Horford and Kyle Korver out there. He helped build those teams, and he's done a great job of building out what we have here. But it was really interesting just to hear Bob Myers and JJ both essentially just laugh at the concept of, somebody who makes trades and signs free agents and appoints the coaches. And he's like, no, has 0% to do with what I actually do. So, it's just interesting as we talk here all the time about why did Monty do this? Why did Monty do that? I'm not just, if we want to be technical, those decisions actually do mainly come from Wes Wilcox. And as Bob Myers kind of put there, Monty is more of the, I approve, I disapprove. Hey, I think Monty has the final say in it all, but Wes is essentially going to draw it all up. He's going to do all the necessary. He's not going to hand do the scouting, but he's going to make the decision, make the presentation, show Monty. Monty gives final approval, and that's pretty much how the process goes. Which I was not privy to the ins and outs of. So
should we be mad at Monty or Wes?
Yes, would be the answer. You're upset at both of them. If you are upset, Monty
probably said, during the reason it's Monty is going to Wes during the trade deadline and saying, hey, this is what we want to accomplish. Yes. And then Wes saying, okay, what about this? And Monty saying,
Yeah. I mean, literally, Bob Myers goes on to say, like, it's sometimes your job title is literal. He is the general manager. He at the end of the day, he is a manager, and it's of every little thing, whether it be merchandising, whether it be, strategic, strategies of how we're going to attack the on the floor product, the off the floor product, the marketing of everything. It is just, he has his hands in pretty much everything. You were talking about in the pre-show about how you had, you just like, I'd love to be an AD at a school.
I thought I wanted to be an athletic director, and then I shadowed an athletic director and figured out that I don't want to be an athletic director.
Right.
Based on it's not what you think.
Yeah, it's not getting to pick what jerseys you guys have or anything like that.
Not anything like that. It's just a bunch of fundraising.
Exactly. And think of the same thing for Monty McNair. Yes, he does have say in a lot of really important decisions. The biggest decisions Monty's going to have his say in. But at the end of the day, like the signings, the getting JTA here, that's going to be a Wes Wilcox transaction. And again, every time you hear a press conference from anybody, new signing, trade, coach getting fired or hired, or I guess not fired, but if you were to get hired, they're all going to say, thank you, Monty. Thank you, Wes. And that's, I've always wondered, man, like they're always saying Wes, what is Wes doing? Like, is he just in the room in having the conversations? Is he more the money guy and Monty's more the big picture guy? Turns out, no, Wes is actually just the one boots on the ground doing a lot of the work. Not saying Monty doesn't do anything, but when we talk about the transactions of this team, that's Wes Wilcox.
Going to have dog segment at 1:45, but I got a couple stories I got to run by all of you. It's been one of those weeks. Fair foul coming up next. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
No team has owned the Kings more than the New Orleans Pelicans. Thursday at 7. The Kings look for their first win of the season against New Orleans.
It's grabbed by Davion. Bullet pass to the corner. Keegan for 3. Score the triple. What a super assist from Davion Mitchell. Keegan Murray now has 14.
It's game 80. the Kings and Pelicans, Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are looking at a bright and warm day for this Thursday. This will be the warmest day of the work week, expecting highs to peak in the mid-80s, overnight lows into the lower 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through April 23rd, get a $15 gift card when you buy 5 or more quarts of Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic, only in O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Rivercats fans, we're celebrating 25 seasons of baseball at Sutter Health Park. Join us on Friday, April 12th for our first giveaway of the season. The first 2,500 fans receive a Kyle Harrison Rivercats t-shirt jersey. On Saturday, April 13th, we welcome Sacramento Kings legend Chris Webber to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Webber will also be available pregame for a book signing and meet and greet. To view the complete 2024 schedule and to purchase tickets, visit rivercats.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tuff Shed, new dog treatment sensors, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
All right, I have two stories before we get back into some Kings talk. We got prop talk and dog segment. And speaking of dog segment, this second story is going to tie in nicely. The first story, and Chris had some things to say. So I was supposed to get my hair cut yesterday. We're talking after the show, getting ready for today's show. And I say, hey, I got to go. I got to get my hair cut. So I leave, and the barber, I get in there, and the barber is finishing somebody up, right? He's finishing somebody up, and he's running around doing different things, and 5 minutes goes by. Okay, he's vacuuming, things like that. 10 minutes go by. I'm texting Chris. Actually, I didn't text Chris yet, but I'm at this point, I'm, all right, 10 minutes. We had plans after, which will lead into my next story. We had plans after. And I'm just waiting. It gets to 20 minutes, and I text Chris. And I say, hey, man, my barber, and the other thing is he came and dapped me up, right? He dapped me up and then proceeds to do what he's doing. Then he just goes into the great beyond. So 20 minutes goes by, and I get to 25 minutes, and I'm texting Chris, and Chris is saying, that's crazy. I say, what do I do? Do I just act cool? I mean, this is pretty nuts. Yada, yada, yada.
May I ask for context? Has this ever happened to you before?
No.
This is your first?
No, this would only be the second time I got my haircut by him. So.
No, but I'm saying like in life, you've never had this protocol
Not like
of like
this.
they're running behind.
Not this much.
Okay.
Maybe they're late cutting, but I can see them.
Okay.
So he dabs me up. Again, he's only cut my hair one time. He did a great job. So it gets to 3:20, it gets to 3:30, and Chris is like, "Oh heck no, man! Yeah. You gotta do something." So I get up and I ask one of the other guys. I go back into the back room. I say, "Hey, where's so and so?" He goes, "Oh, he left." Oof. I'm like, "What?" I look down, and now I'm just like, "What the heck happened?" I look down at my calendar. I booked it for next Wednesday.
And I called him a donkey.
And Chris called me.
Said, bro, you are
complete idiot.
Worst. Yes.
It was so bad. And you know me, I'm getting riled up. I'm thinking,
does he not know?
But what's funny?
I got places to be.
But what's funny is he probably saw me and thought I'm trying out a different barber. When I'm not trying out a different barber, I thought you were gonna cut my hair. So he daps me up. He leaves. He's probably thinking, "Oh man, I thought I had a new client."
This, right.
And I'm thinking, "Yo, you about to cut me up or not?" And he's gone.
That's devastating.
He's gone. So I had to share that one with you.
Yeah.
I was tripping. Okay.
You're also leaving out that you were gonna get a haircut this morning as well.
And I was gonna get a haircut this morning as well. And I said, "Hey, Chris, is it cool if I come in a little? Is it cool if I come in a little late? If I get this haircut?" And then I say, "You know what, man? Just disregard everything I'm saying. I have physical therapy at the my calendar.
It's so bad.
My scheduling has just been awful.
It's like an hour of just like, bro, this man.
And
Alan
I'm just blowing Chris. I'm just blowing Chris's phone up, and he's probably thinking, "What are you doing? What are you going through,
man? I don't know how I can help."
Okay, so this leads into my second story, and both of you are dog owners. Okay.
Yes.
And I've never had a dog growing up. I have 2 cats.
Really? Not a single dog?
No, my pops is just a no-go.
Sure. Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends that had dogs, right? But I have issues with dog owners at times. Okay. So
they can be obnoxious.
This is what, and I just want to get your take on this. Okay. So after the haircut that never was, we went off to have some food and some beverages, and we brought baby Stiles. We're all hanging. Just the 3 of us are hanging out. And there is where we go. It's a spot in the area where we go. First of all, there's a sign that says no dogs. Okay. And we get food from the food truck. We're having our beverages. There's a sign that says no dogs, and there are about 3 dogs just hanging around outside. Okay, not a big deal.
It happens, but yeah.
And then, my wife explains to me, "Hey, I think they mean no dogs on the grass, so they don't do their business on the grass." There were dogs on the grass anyway. Okay. There's a guy who comes around, right? And he comes around, he's got a beverage in his hand, he's on his phone, and he has a basset hound, not a very scary looking dog, but that's not the point. So the first time the dog comes around, and the dog is kind of in our stuff. Right, like just sniffing around. And my way of saying that we're not interested, if you will, is just by I'm still on my phone. The dog is right at our table,
dog, right?
But we're clearly just like, I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know the dog. There's plenty of dog people out there. Go find them, right? This is all in the span of 40 minutes. So he comes out the first time, and I just kind of ignore, let the dog, do his thing. Sure. Don't pet it. Don't do anything. The guy kind of does a loop, goes back inside. Second time he comes out again, right? And still same idea. And again, this is within 30, 40 minutes, and the dog's not pooping or anything like that. It's just kind of hanging out. So after the second time, I get up to get the food. And the second time he came out, I said, the second time he came out, I was just like, oh, hello, like under my breath. And he just didn't, there's no eye contact. There's anything. Your dog is just sniffing the stroller and and under the table and things like that. So then something switches in Allen. As I'm getting up to get the food, I start thinking,
Jim Allen.
Is this guy like challenging me? Is he?
Oh, you did.
No. In my mind,
this man testing my manhood.
In my mind, is this guy okay? They don't want to pet my, because everybody else is petting the dog. This guy doesn't want to pet my dog. I'm gonna keep doing it until they pet the dog, right? So I get up and I'm grabbing the food, and I told my wife, I said, if he comes around again, I'm gonna tell him that our baby's allergic. That's what I'm going to tell him.
To dogs.
And to dogs. So that was that's the second time.
Sure.
And Chris, this is within 30, 40 minutes. Yeah. It's not a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
So he leaves, he goes out again. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there eating my hush puppies, eating my shrimp.
Puppies,
yeah, exactly. Eating my shrimp, doing things, enjoying our food. He comes out again.
Oh, boy.
He does a big loop. And there are people, he's doing it to everybody. Yeah. And he's going under the table. Everybody's petting the dog. Cool. The dog is licking people's face. Do your thing. He comes around again.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, man. Hey, sorry, man. She's allergic. Sorry about it. And why am I apologizing? I don't know. Because it's the Dogs America. I'm saying, hey, man, sorry about that. She's allergic. Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. No sorry, no anything. The third time, Chris, you can spot a dog person. The third time, second time I ignore your dog when everybody else, the dog is right next to my leg and I'm literally acting like it's invisible. I'm sorry, man. I got to get that off my chest. Some of you dog owners, you got to figure it out. Not everybody.
Yes.
You don't need every person in the world to love your dog.
Yes. I was in Target the other day and somebody had, they're not like a little cute little, not even a basset hound.
Yeah.
I'm saying a full-blown like husky that has like a huge coat of hair.
Yeah.
I'm right there with. I mean, I probably don't bring my dog out as much as I should.
Yeah.
But even then, people are towing this line way too much of, is this a public place for my, like, I get worried if I have a Chipotle near my house and I'm like, can I walk my dog into Chipotle,
even
if I ordered?
No, just do it.
I end up doing it, but even then, I'm like, this 20 seconds of me in this establishment with my dog, I don't know if that's okay. And people are out
violation,
here going, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what if a hair ends up
unless
in the
it is a service dog?
Yeah,
I feel like number one, you're breaking the rules. The dog is on the grass. Yeah. I don't know why the sign is even out. Number one. Number two, I'm just like, I just feel like I'm the type of person, if I had a dog and how much people love dogs. Yeah. Some people, they get so excited, they don't even bother to ask the owner.
Right.
If they can pet it. You brought your dog around 3 different times and homie, we haven't acknowledged it. Right. Just keep it pushing. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, people treat their dogs like they're their children, and they're very much like, look, like, how are you not going to love my baby?
There was he just needed it.
Lived for it.
He said, "You're gonna pet my dog." I said, "I'm not gonna pet your dog."
Some people are trying to. They require that attention. You know what I mean? If I'm making sense.
Come on, he's just licking somebody else's face.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
You need everybody to acknowledge your dog.
My little dinosaur dog lives at home in a couch.
I'm just and look, I posted it on Instagram. I posted all the dogs.
Did you really?
I posted hold on.
Still up?
I posted all the dogs.
And
then I posted the video and then I panned to the sign. And after about 5 minutes, and Kayla says, oh, it's not, Alan, I think that's for like on the grass, and some of them weren't on the grass. I deleted it because I didn't want to be shamed.
And
I
now
deleted
here
it.
we are on the sporty 1140 sharing the tale.
Because you gotta just know that there could be 15 people in that room and 14 people cannot wait to pet your dog.
Right.
But don't assume everybody wants to pet it. Right. And can we just use context clues?
Yeah.
Please?
Right. Have some
I'm
social
just trying
awareness.
to eat a meal with my family.
Yeah. No. That's by far the worst part about dog people is they think that everybody is right there for their dog. No, it's fine.
Dog segment coming up next.
Segment.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown.
Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over three-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, the Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Truck Month?
We are very excited to be celebrating 75 years in business. And what better way to celebrate than helping you get the hard-to-find heavy-duty Ram you've been looking for less. Right now, you can save up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cabs. And with California's biggest selection of new Ram trucks, you're sure to find the truck you need.
75 years. That's incredible, dude.
It all started with my grandpa and great-grandpa's dream, and it's grown over the years to where we've had a chance to serve tens of thousands of customers and show them there's something special about Hoblet you just can't get at those big city auto mall dealerships.
Come experience the difference at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
8,000 total net savings after 4,000 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 commercial bonus cash and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible First Responder Association. 5 with this discount. See dealer for details.
Once upon a time, you could get a heater tune-up or an air conditioner tune-up for just $59, or both for $89. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
I thought you were going to read me a bedtime story.
Go to sleep now. Bonnie.com. License 696-355.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Dog segment and prop talk. This is from Anthony Slater, our guy, Anthony Slater. Draymond Green and Klay Thompson are both out tonight in Portland. Gary Payton II is now questionable with calf tightness. The Warriors will try to beat the 21-58 Blazers without a chunk of their rotation, setting up a huge back-to-back at home tomorrow versus the Pelicans.
We need Chris Murray to step it up.
Yes, but then tomorrow, Kings got to take care of business themselves. But assuming they do, at least the Warriors will be a little bit more fresh than they typically would be to hopefully beat the Pelicans. Which at that point, and then if the Kings win tomorrow, the 6th seed is not dead.
No,
but that's still a lot of ifs.
No.
So and then as far as the Suns piece of this,
yeah.
Is it just the Kings would have the tiebreaker, right? Is it basically the Pelicans have the most leeway for 6, but the Suns and Kings would have to get hot to get to 6? Because they'd have to beat each other.
Yes, exactly. The Pelicans have the inside track. I mean, if the Pelicans win today, they clinch the 6. And if they lose,
what if they lose?
If they lose, things start getting interesting. They still would have the inside track for 6
because of and they have the tiebreaker on the Kings.
They have the tiebreaker on the Kings. The Pelicans need to lose out essentially in order to not get that 6 seed, and the Kings would have to win the rest of their games in order to be put into the 6 seed. I believe if Phoenix wins 2 of their last 3 and New Orleans loses 2 of their last 3, then I think Phoenix gets it. It gets a little bit confusing, which is why, especially at this point, it's just easier to kind of take it day by day. But for the most part, I mean, if for all the Kings fans out there, who, you just need to win. That is the easiest path of getting the highest seed possible is win. Even then, nothing is guaranteed. But if you win out, you're putting yourself in a really, really good chance of somehow, some way still getting that 6 seed. It's not likely, but if you win today, you bring that positive momentum into tomorrow. Phoenix just struggled mightily with the Clippers team and then barely beat a Bones Highland led Clippers team. So they're very, very vulnerable. It's not crazy. It's just not likely.
No, it's not crazy. I'm just looking here. So the Kings are 2.5 games back of the 6 seed, the Pelicans. So if they win tonight, that pulls them within 1.5 games. And then if the Pelicans lose and the Kings win again, that's still a half game.
Right.
And honestly, I'm afraid that the Lakers, so Pelicans have Kings, Warriors, then Lakers. The Lakers, if they don't have any, who knows what the Lakers may or may not have to play for.
Yeah.
So the Lakers could throw it. And then, because then at that point, wouldn't that just make the Kings tied? Even if they win out?
So Jason and Dave were explaining this morning, which I am not going to get into, but there is a less than 0 or a much greater than 0% chance that this thing ends in a 4-way tie. And that is an absolute nightmare, which I do not have enough information on right now to help people out. But I know that there is a possibility that this thing ends up going to a 3 or 4-way tie, and it ends up coming down to in division record. Because funny enough, the 4 teams that would be tied would be all of the Pacific Division besides the Clippers who won it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would end up going to division winner. And funny enough, the Kings have the advantage, and I think they would get the 7 seed if there is a 4-way tie. But again, that's a really, really messy situation, which we'll cross that bridge if we need to.
Got to win tonight.
Have to win
for any
tonight.
of it to matter.
Yes,
all
exactly.
right. Prop talk. Let's get it.
Get it. I would imagine there's got to be some good props out there because they're looking for, they want you to parlay things with golf. So
that's right.
I would assume that they got as much things as possible. And I'm actually looking here at one of the apps. Keon Ellis is the most popular pick.
It's number 1
for his over 9.5 points
with a demon,
because people are now being awoken after Keon had that 28-pointer the other day. I'm not going to go with that because if you look at his other games, it's a lot under 10 points, but still thought it was interesting that Keon is the most popular pick for his points over right now. I haven't picked anything out yet. Have you? Simone, do you have anything? Yeah, Simone, if you have something, feel free.
Let's get the big dog back in there.
Ooh.
On DeMontis Sabonis, I'm seeing 22.5 rebounds and assists.
Okay.
Go ahead and take the over on that.
I just gotta tell you guys right now. I mean, this is just getting crazy here. The Black Falcon, Harrison Barnes is down to 9.5. You gotta take that. You have to take that. And I'm taking it.
So HB has this, you said 9.5?
9.5.
It's got the same number as Keon Ellis.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, it's where we're at.
You have to know how crazy you sound right now.
I'm taking it.
I like it. Let's see here. I got to look at this list. I see my guy Trey Lyles has made the board. I like that. Davion Mitchell's on the board, 8.5 points. Let's see here. You know what? We've talked about this number being huge in the past. It hasn't played a factor here recently. Hasn't gotten over this number 6 since April 4th against the Knicks. I'm going to go with De'Aaron over 6 assists tonight.
Okay.
Because it's going to be on everybody to hit their shots, whether it be from the perimeter or not. I think it's going to be a lot of De'Aaron Fox attacking, and hopefully hitting those spray threes or just hitting open teammates, and hopefully they can hit open looks. So I'm going to go De'Aaron Fox assist over 6 flat.
I like that.
So we're going to go 6 assists, and then, I think the number was Kings are 24-4 or something like that this season when De'Aaron has when he has 7 assists or more. So definitely looking at that number if the Kings are going to win tonight.
There you go.
Tonight.
Wow, Kings favored by 1.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's something.
Don't like that.
Definitely something.
Don't like
Lose
that.
to a team 4 times.
Yeah, I don't like that
favorite.
in.
Las Vegas finds a way.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like that in the slightest.
Where's he?
All right. 916-339-1140. Text line, call line, Sack Chat. It's time for the dog segment.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. I'll start it off. Why not? We'll get this thing started, and it's a big dog kind of day, and I'm picking the guy who's killed the Pelicans his entire career. I'm going with De'Aaron Fox, man. They need a real superstar performance out of De'Aaron today. Biggest game of the season. You know that the Pelicans are going to try and play upset alert. They probably look at this 4-0, possibly 5-0 as a really big mark. If you can beat a team 5 times, that's proof that you're a really, really good team. You're going to have a lot of confidence in these last couple games if you can get the win. And you can pretty much secure your 6th spot if you get the dub. Kings need their big dog tonight, De'Aaron Fox. Put it on the board.
Okay.
Let me sneak in here real quick before things start happening. Before the drive guys get underway, I would love to go ahead and admire how Keegan got his groove back tonight.
Wow.
Love it.
Keegan Murray. All right. And I'm doubling down. You think I'm playing?
Wow.
You think Where is he?
Lunatic.
Where is he? Hold on. I'm going to get him.
We're trying to find him. That's the problem.
You think I'm playing?
He's just hiding.
You think we're playing
he just disappeared. That's weird.
You think we're playing games? Harrison Barnes?
He's just looking at me.
Please stand up. Look at him.
He's just like
Look
staring
at him.
me.
Look at him.
Hey, how's it going?
It's Harrison Barnes time. All right? I'm not going to say it again. Okay. Harrison Barnes, my
you
dog.
Don't have many more games to say it in.
And I'm going to keep saying it until the season ends.
It might be sooner.
And I'm going to be right eventually.
Yeah, you might not be.
I'm going to be right eventually.
Okay, we'll hope.
Curtis Hicks. Davion Mitchell is his dog. If he continues to just shoot the way he's been shooting, one of these days it's going to end in a W. It has to end with a W. Brandon Deitzman, I'm going to go with Fox tonight. We need to get this dub, and it's going to depend on Fox being aggressive from first possession. Get that floater game going and let the 3-and-D boys do their work. I like that. We have from the 510 Trey Lyles. Shout out to the Trey Bays. There you go. Also from the 209, another De'Aaron Fox. From the 916, Sabonis will have a bounce back game. I mean, that's 19. He averages 19 against the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Hasn't resulted in W's, but tonight it will. John Williams.
Hopefully.
Fox is my dog. They need it, man.
They desperately
What
need
do you
it.
think happens tonight? Deep down in your soul.
I think that we're going to see like a really hustle forward kind of game from the Kings. Like, I think this might actually be the first playoff game they play. I think the intensity is going to be there. There's obviously a lot of familiarity between these two teams. Already played 4 times. It's been a while, but I think that both of, especially the Kings, have had this circled on their calendar for a while. They have to get some form of get back against these guys. I actually think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to give advantage Kings. I'm going to give the advantage Kings because if not, I mean, the season's over. So you got to go all in at this point. Hustle. I want to see people diving on the floor.
Balls,
yes, that's what I want to see.
I've been saying these honestly, I've been saying it for the last 4 games. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do believe the Kings will beat the Pelicans. and I'm sticking to it. You got to look yourself, and hold on here. You got to look yourself in the mirror, and you got to say, we don't grind like that to shine like this when we're doing work and nobody is with us. The media ain't there, okay? The boys ain't there. You work hard for nights like this. What are you prepared to do to stay out of that 9-10 and to possibly stay in the 6? That's what we're talking about, Kings. That's what we're talking about. You look your brother in the eye and you say, if not now, then when? Trey Lyles, you look De'Aaron Fox in the eye. You say, there's nobody on this court better than you. You look Keegan Murray in the eye and say, you're one of the youngest, best players in the game. You get it done. And tonight, the Kings will get it done. Thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Simone, outstanding job as always. Continue the Masters coverage. Thank you again. Stiles and Watkins, you have the Drive Guys up next, getting you ready for Kings-Pelicans. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the Pelicans beam.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports.